to ACC Network College Football, presented by Dr. Pepper. The second ever live college football game here on ACC Network, and here come the Deacons of Wake Forest, hosting an 11-win team from last year, all the way from Logan, Utah, the Aggies of Utah State. What a great scene as the old gold and black enter here at BB&T Field in Winston-Salem. Kevin Brown, Heisman Trophy winner Andre Ware, so thrilled to be with you and to kick off a brand new college football season. And for Wake Forest, the Deacons are hoping to continue their unprecedented growth. 3 consecutive years with a bowl win, but they had some questions to answer this offseason, and one big one was answered with Jamie Newman being anointed the cornerback.
Yeah, really rode the momentum of last season of 2018 when he took this team on a 3-1 run to finish the year MVP of the Birmingham Bowl. Well, who is he? He's a big, strong, physical runner that can really push the ball down the field. We'll see a lot of that throughout tonight.
He beat true sophomore Sam Hartman for the starting job, and with both Newman and Hartman, Wake Forest excelled offensively last year. They won their 3rd straight bowl game, edging Memphis in the Birmingham Bowl, and the last 2 seasons have been the 2 best in terms of yards and points per game in Deacon history.
Yeah, you look at an offense that can they're really balanced. They can run the football, they can push it down the field with Newman at quarterback. It's an offensive attack that's going to keep you on your heels a little bit throughout the evening.
So that's the offense. Defensively for Wake Forest, it's not going to be easy tonight. Jordan Love may be good enough to have shed the one of the best group of 5 quarterbacks moniker. You think he might be one of the best quarterbacks of the game, period?
I think if he decides to come out after this season, he's going to be a top 20, top 15 pick. He's a special passer of the football. Can he work the pocket? Yes, he can. He checks every box that you're looking for in a quarterback. Throwing guys open, the placement of the football. Can he do it on the run? Can he move and deliver the football with accuracy? Absolutely. Watch this one. Right on the money to his receiver on a crossing pattern where he doesn't have to adjust. It's right in his hands and you get yards after the catch. Can he throw receivers open, over a linebacker and before safety? Excellent at doing this, squeezing the ball into small windows. And then, can he read defenses and distribute the football quickly off play action? Absolutely. The kid checks every box. He is going to be fun to watch in 2019.
How about this for a big number? Among active quarterbacks with 15 or more starts, only Alabama under Tua Tagovailoa has scored more points per game. Jordan Love's Aggies have outscored Mackenzie Milton's UCF Knights, Justin Herbert's Ducks, Jake Fromm's Bulldogs, and everybody else. There is more to the Jordan Love story, and for that we bring in the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, the incomparable Dr. Jerry Punch. Doc?
Obviously, hello everyone. There is a lot more to the Jordan Love story. You know, he put up staggering numbers a year ago, but his career almost didn't happen. You know, when he was growing up as a youngster in Bakersfield, California, he played multiple sports, like most kids do. And every time he would look off to the side of the court of the field, there was his biggest fan, his biggest supporter, his dad, Orban. And then when he was 14 years old, playing in a summer league basketball game, he looked over and Orban wasn't there. His aunt came and picked him up and took him to her house. And then when he arrived, he was told that his dad had just died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Now, Jordan knew his dad was taking some new blood pressure medicine that was making him feeling some strange things, but it didn't matter. He was devastated. His best friend, his biggest supporter, was gone. He wanted to mail it in, give up on life, and give up on sports. But his mom, Anna, said no. You need sports, son. You need to surround yourself with your teammates, and it will help you forget about the things you don't need to be thinking about. Well, then he went on to high school and set staggering numbers at Liberty High School. And he got 1 FBS scholarship offer at Utah State. And of course, the rest is history with that incredible season a year ago. And now Utah State's promoting him for the Heisman. They're sending out these candy hearts to media all around the country. And ironically, if it weren't for Hart, this young man wouldn't be here tonight. He showed it when he lost his biggest fan at the age of 14, and he shows it every time he steps on the playing field. And here's the best part. We get to see it here tonight. Kevin?
How lucky are we? That is awesome stuff. We asked Jordan yesterday what drives him. He said, I try to be great in everything I do because my father raised me that way, to try and be great and to turn great into excellent. His Aggies will be on defense first. Dominic Eberle to kick it away. Christian Beal-Smith is ready to go. 2019 college football. You ready, partner?
I'm ready, my man. Ready to go.
Off the foot of Eberle into the end zone for a touchback. It will be Wake Forest football from the 25 as we begin, and we'll get our first look at the Demon Deacons' first-time opening day quarterback, Jamie Newman.
Yeah, special runner of the football, big, physical, strong. And like I mentioned earlier, he can deliver it, the deep ball down the field. Wouldn't surprise me just to settle the nerves if he doesn't crank one out to one of these big wide receivers here on first down.
The running back is Cade Carney, and Newman will give it to Carney, stick it in the gut, and let Wake Forest bowling ball senior plunge ahead for 7 yards.
Cade Carney, as consistent as they get, over 1,000 yards and 8 touchdowns a year ago.
Early tempo, you're going to see this a lot from Wake Forest. The keeper for Newman, who has stood up after a couple of yards just shy of a first down. Wake Forest last season, the 4th fastest team in the nation in terms of seconds between play. Here's the lineup. Cade Carney we saw in the first play. You like Christian Beal-Smith a lot too. The other running back will play.
Yeah, he's a home run hitter where you're going to get just the thud from Cade Carney. I mentioned he went over 1,000 yards. Christian Beal-Smith is the home run hitter, though.
A pass on 3rd and 1. Newman connects on his first of the year. The tight end, Jack Frudenthal, is inbounds and out just a yard shy of midfield, a pickup of 15.
Yeah, this is really strength on strength with Wake Forest's offense. A lot of returning starters there against Utah State's strength, which is their defense. It brings back 9 starters from 2018.
Former walk-on Jack Frudenthal, now a second-year starter to captain with the first reception of the year. Deacons go empty, and Newman takes it up the gut. He's a good runner. There's Frudenthal, the captain, firing up his Demon Deacons pregame right in the center of this offensive huddle. He had the biggest catch of the year for Wake Forest last season. 34-yard touchdown, 30 seconds to go in the upset win at North Carolina State. Got an injured Demon Deacon here. It's Nathan Gilliam, the starting right guard.
You talk about Frudenthal, he is more the receiving type tight end. Started his career as a walk-on, and then Chapman, will see him as well throughout the ball game.
71 Gilliam on the left side of your screen there, got rolled up on.
Yeah, I think it was Devin Anderson, the defensive tackle from Utah State, kind of getting mixed up in the pile on the inside. This is
Anderson in the center of that Utah State defense, really a 4-2-5. David Woodward and Tipa Naliai, 2 names we'll likely call a lot tonight. Woodward was an All-American last year. Naliai, 10.5 sacks, a TCU transfer. Quick hitter for Newman on 2nd down and 7. This is Kendall Hinton, who was supposed to be the starting quarterback last year for Wake Forest, got suspended, ended up getting moved to slot receiver, and they are very excited about what he can bring.
Yeah, with the ball in his hands in space, he's got a lot of wiggle, is what we were told yesterday by this coaching staff.
On 3rd down, it's Carney for the first, and a big run for Cade Carney inside the 25.
There's the thumper, the 4-year starter who doesn't look to make guys miss. If you're in the open field with Cade Carney, be ready for some action. He's going to bring the action right to your front door.
22 yards on that play. This one slow to develop, and Carney is blown up. There is Tipa Naliai, number 10 in navy blue and white. 310 carries since Cade Carney last lost a fumble, November 2016. The last time he coughed the ball up and lost it.
Well, he's a big, strong back because he's in their 1,500-pound club. When you add bench press and squats and all that good stuff, power cleans, up over 1,500 pounds. He lives in the weight room. They've got, as we mentioned, got a nice 1-2 punch of thump and speed with he and Beal-Smith.
Play clock down to 4. This is a rare sight. Newman Looking for the end zone. Flag is thrown. Will not matter. Touchdown, Sage Surratt.
Knew eventually he was going to dial one up. The receiver Scotty Washington at 6'5" and Sage Surratt at 6'3". The best hands on the team on this offensive unit is Surratt, and boy, did he come up big for his quarterback, Jamie Newman. What a drive to start the season for Wake Forest.
75 yards, 8 plays, and 306. Sophomore Nick Skiba bangs home the extra point. He's never missed one. Sage Surratt ended 2018 with a touchdown catch in his final 2 games. He kicks off 2019 with a touchdown on the opening drive. There were 3 finalists for the 2014 Wisconsin job, according to Dave Clawson. He was one of them on the right. Mel Tucker was another, and the man who got it on the left. Gary Anderson, who left Utah State, went to Wisconsin, then Oregon State, and he proved that you can indeed come home again. Gary Anderson's second stint as Utah State head coach begins after Matt Wells left to go to Texas Tech.
Yeah, and he's trying to match the momentum that Matt Wells built last year, going 11-2. For the Aggies.
Utah State was excellent in the return game last year, and Savon Scarver lets this bounce through the end zone. A fortunate break for Wake Forest for a touchback.
Well, right away with that drive, it forces Utah State to have to match Wake Forest when you're on the road.
And Utah State has done some good matching under Gary Anderson. 11 wins his final year. Took the Wisconsin job, 19 wins in 2 seasons there. Badgers made it to the Big Ten title, lost big to Ohio State. He went to Oregon State, a move that surprised a lot of folks. Left in the middle of 2017, assistant coach at Utah last year, and he is back at Utah State. He told us he did not sell his house in Logan. He kept it the whole time.
He said his sons were living there, and
they had to make some alterations indeed. So his offense's first play is a handoff. Gerald Bright blown up by Nasir Greer out of the Wake Forest secondary.
Yeah, Bright's going to get a lot of action. He's a big, big part of what they do offensively and will be this year.
First pass attempt of the year for Jordan Love, completing a broken tackle for Savon Scarver. He's got elite speed, and he just showed it off into Wake territory for 35 big yards.
And Nasir Greer on the back end. He's the quarterback of the secondary with tremendous range, is able to track him down. Otherwise, that's 6 points.
Broke the tackle of Amari Henderson, and Utah State can go as well. This is not a game for the faint of heart or for instant replayers.
No, do not blink because it will be quick. Nice job of spinning to the outside, away from the help, and then it turns into a foot race where Greer is able to track him down.
Love so good on the move, rolls out and completes it for a first down. Jordan Nathan, the most experienced receiver of a very inexperienced group.
Yeah, he has the best hands on the team, but you are in for a treat with Jordan Love tonight.
Love perfect so far, completes another one. Nathan again with a block from inside and a short gain.
Just so smooth, the delivery of Jordan Love. Easy release and just great touch of the football when he decides to go over the top. You watch the film and you're just oohing and ahhing after every single throw, and the placement. I think that's what has NFL scouts just really drooling over this young man.
Only Oklahoma outscored the Aggies last year nearly 50 a game. Love completes one, the diving catch made by Siosi Mariner, the graduate transfer from Utah.
And that's going to be enough for a first down. They're going to move the chains. And what do they do in the red zone here?
Love to the sideline and reeled in. There's Mariner again.
What a throw and a catch. That's where your receiver, and only your receiver, is going to catch this one. Otherwise, it's going out of bounds. And they worked this throw high and outside in pregame warm-up. It's part of the regiment.
Is under further review.
That wide receiver coach Jason Phillips goes through high and behind, low and behind, low and in front. Just the hard catches that you're going to face during a game when balls aren't thrown, with precision and thrown accurately. But what a catch there! If this is indeed ruled a catch,
it is going to be reviewed. Have to have possession, have to have the foot in bounds. Larry Mallum is our replay official. By the way, Gary Patterson, our referee.
Just a toe. I think that one's going to stand. We talk about pace of play, Kevin. Wake Forest, they average 13 seconds per play in their initial drive. Utah State going even faster, 9 seconds between plays. Insane.
How would you have liked to be part of preseason conditioning in Logan?
Well, you know who it's hard on? The big grunts up front.
Yes, indeed.
Those guys having to get to the line of scrimmage and play after play and be ready to go, but it also wears down a front seven of the defense where you're not getting quite the rush, when you get past the second quarter or so.
We're still looking to see, is the foot in?
I think that's going to stand. The toe looked like from the other angle that it was indeed in. I'm still marveling over the throw itself. The placement of the ball.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Catch. Second down.
And just a reminder, as we are starting on the season of college football, the ruling stands. That's different from the ruling is confirmed. The ruling is confirmed means it's definitively what you saw on the field. The ruling stands means there's not enough evidence to overturn the call on the field.
Yeah, they like corner routes down here. They like slants. This big 6'4", 225-pound quarterback can throw both with great accuracy.
Mariners in the slot left after 2 catches in a row. Love will hand it off to Bright. Broken tackle. Touchdown, Utah State.
What an answer. What an answer.
Ran right through Ryan Smenda for 6.
Had us all full thinking, spread them out a little bit. A slot to the left, and then they just hand it off underneath to Bright, who in 2018 ran for 888 yards and 10 touchdowns, splitting time with Darwin Thompson, who is now with the Kansas City Chiefs.
7 yards on the run, Bright's 14th career touchdown. Blink and you miss it. Utah State answers Wake Forest. Turbocharged start to the season.
Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
Offensive delirium early in Winston-Salem. Wake Forest and Utah State. 13 seconds between plays on the opening touchdown drive for the Deacons. Utah State, anything you can do, I can do faster. 9 seconds between plays. 9.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Don't blink.
And remember, this is a new head coach and a new offensive coordinator, Mike Sanford, taking over for Matt Wells.
And I tell you what, Gary Anderson, true to his word, said that they were going to run the offense, leave everything in place all the way down to the terminology, still run the pace and the tempo, and he has stayed true to his word. Exciting football for Utah State fans, along with a great opening to the season for the Wake Forest Deacons.
New Utah State coaches said they would put the burden on themselves. Keep the terminology the same for Jordan Love's crew. So far, so good. Now the touchback, and Wake will start at the 25. Tomorrow, it's our first full college football Saturday of the year, our first full slate of games here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. East Carolina, NC State at noon Eastern, and a really good one. Virginia Tech and BC at 4 Eastern. Really interesting seasons for those teams coming up. And Virginia and defending Coastal champion Pitt. ACC Network Primetime presented by Geico. Fastest in FBS last season, Wake Forest, fastest Power 5 school. 20.6 seconds between snaps. Even quicker than that on the first drive. And a handoff to Carney results in a gain of about 4.
Well, we felt like this one being strength on strength is who was going to outplay the other. Right now, it's the Wake Forest Deacons offense, the strength of their offense, kind of having a hand in this thing. They're getting what they want on offense against this defense.
Newman just coughed up the football. It's picked up by Utah State. Justus Tae. There is a flag down on the play, though.
It's going to be a hold against Wake Forest, and there's the first mistake of the ball game, and it could be costly where it occurred.
Number 71 offense. That penalties decline. Results of the play are fumble, recovery by Utah State. First down.
Kevin, whenever I played, you see, let's check out the fumble here, just kind of carrying it loosely and swinging it around in a crowd. And then you get the defensive leader, David Woodward, in there stripping it out. Forced 2 fumbles a year ago, but look for Utah State to maybe go up top. You get the ball here in plus yardage territory. You want to make this team, the defense, pay. He just came off the field, a little bit winded, and they're right back out there. This is where I would dial up something down the field.
Tied for the national lead last year with 32 takeaways. The Aggies get their first, and Jordan Love completes his 6th in a row. Caleb Brett, the grad transfer from Utah.
Well, the quarterbacks in this game combined 9 for 9 with Newman and Love.
Up the middle, this is the first touch for Jalen Warren, who was the nation's junior college offensive player of the year last year at Snow College in Utah. The freshman Trey Rucker takes him down, and here come the Aggies on 3rd and 2.
Well, coaches feel like he has everything they need to be a special player.
A little bobble of the football there for Warren, but he gets it, spins through across the 25, and has his first Utah State first down.
This has been a nice job of play calling here by Mike Sanford, kind of keeping this Wake defense on its heels.
3rd straight run to Warren. Deacons are ready for it this time.
And not really only just the run or the pass, it's when it's coming. When you expect the run there, they were able to dial the right defense, but it wouldn't surprise me if Jordan Love picks this one up and tosses it.
After no gain, Love will do just that. Yes, Virginia, there is an incompletion in this game.
The first.
Quarterbacks were 9 for 9 combined. Love 6 for 6. That one short to Scarver, and it sets up a 3rd and long.
That Boogie Basham in his face there, getting some pressure. Number 9 off the edge.
Where do you look here if you're Love?
Well, I like the middle of the field. You got the safety cheating over, and you got a slot receiver that has a lot of room at the top in the middle. He throws it about as well as he can be thrown to receivers on the move.
The sophomore Greer is the last line of defense. Love completes it right near the sticks to Scarver. He had to come back to get it, and he's marked a yard short. Amari Henderson on the stop, and an early decision for the Aggies. They're leaving the offense on the field.
He looked at his tight end in the middle, Caleb Rep, initially, and then came back to the receiver on the backside.
Need a yard, give to Warren. He's blown up. He pushes forward. He might have got the first down on the surge. It will depend on the spot.
It is going to be close. Tried to quick snap where the defensive line couldn't get off and get penetration. And they're going to have to measure this one. This is close. From the line judge at the top of our screen, it looked maybe like it may be short.
Justin Sternad, Ryan Smenda were in on the hit.
That initial left foot had it short, but he may have changed some things here.
Nope.
Be well short.
Wake Forest holds up.
That's bailing your defense out right there, playing complimentary football.
Turnover followed by a turnover on downs. Demon Deacons' much maligned defense last year gets a big-time stop on the edge of the red zone. Lucrative spring for Dave Clawson, who signed an extension in April that keeps him here through 2026. Ignore the overall record. The program was not in great shape when he took it over. He's taken Wake Forest to 3 straight bowls and won them all. And if Wake Forest can put together a winning season this year, it would be just the 3rd period of time in school history with 4 straight Wake Forest winning seasons. The other two, 1944 to 48 and 1923 to 26.
Really believes in the development of players, where he'll redshirt a guy and allow him to mature. This pass there by Newman to Chapman. But he believes in the redshirt process, 65% in terms of red shirts that they develop over time, and those become big-time players for you.
Pocket collapses on Newman, and the football's taken away by Woodward. The All-American linebacker just snatched it out of the hands of Newman. There is a flag down, way back in the secondary at the 35.
That's usually holding in the secondary, so this may be brought back in a penalty against Utah State.
Defense, number 2. The 10-yard penalty results in a first down.
It's against the Arizona State transfer, Taryn Adams,
who just got here about a week and a half ago. Pulled Sage Surratt to the ground, negating this from Woodward.
Well, you see why he was an All-American last year. He's just been around the football. He's made a couple of plays here early in the ball game, and it's unfortunate that that happened with Adams on the back end.
Would have been 2 turnovers in a 4-play span for Wake Forest. And the Deacons have new life. They give to Christian Beal-Smith, the number 2 running back, upended. A beautiful open field tackle by Shaq Bond.
Where they run, the way they run their spread option, it's kind of a unique way of doing it. They just kind of slow into it, where they allow blocks to set themselves, almost like a Le'Veon Bell type running style.
Newman's pass knocked away. It's Bond again. Shaq Bond, the junior safety, a transfer from Southwestern Junior College in California, making a major impact.
He was injured last season and missed some time this spring, but has bounced back and he had an excellent fall camp. Switched his jersey number, if you don't recognize him, from 25 to 4.
We'll recognize him soon. Newman gets rid of it on 3rd and 10, knocked away.
And guess who? Again, with the pressure on the quarterback, Shaq Bond. Newman took a shot there. 3 consecutive plays in which the safety, Shaq Bond, was involved in. This one here that's a little painful. Those hurt, Kevin Brown.
I'll trust you from experience. Tom Maggio to punt it away to Jordan Nathan. Pressure came from Utah State. Maggio gets it away. Not a great kick, though.
It did affect the punt.
Great field position for Utah State once more. 5:40 to go here in the first. A tie game at Wake. 3 straight impact plays made by Shaq Bond, who began his career at Lincoln Community College in Illinois playing baseball. He decided to switch to football, went to junior college in California, had 8 picks in 9 games, and was a real impact player last year before a knee injury. And what a series that was.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, he made the right decision putting on the pads.
But have you seen him at shortstop?
Saw him 3 plays, and they were pretty impressive in that last drive. That's enough to convince me that he belongs on a football field.
Shaq Bond, the Deion Sanders of our day. Jordan Love's 3rd drive, and he missed Gerald Bright running out of the flats.
That's one where you reset your feet. He allowed his left hand to come off the football. That's why it sailed a little bit in front of Bright, the running back, but he is a weapon out of the backfield.
14th career rushing touchdown earlier for the senior Bright out of Pensacola, Florida. He said, I want to get to the NFL this year, so I've got to perform. I want to be a more every down back. And he has it here at a second straight down. Nice pickup, just a couple of yards shy of a first.
Excellent speed, excellent quickness. We know about the receiving skills, and he's played 3 positions since arriving on campus. Was a quarterback at one time, moved to slot receiver, and now has found a home at running back.
Third down, Love completes it. Immediate stick came from Jasir Taylor, but the catch reeled in by Mariner, his third, and a first down.
Well, you start completing a bunch of hitches, you know it's coming after, the hitch and go. At some point when you allow the defense or they start biting up in coverage to cover and take away the hitch, you'll see one of these receivers spin outside.
Love will go long, completes it to Mariner inside the 15. There's the shot.
You knew it was coming at some point. You're throwing short underneath. The coverage has no choice but to come up, and you hit him on the wheel route. Mariner has been nice in this game.
After 27 yards, a flip to the tight end, Carson Terrell, the junior. Now 10 to 12 here in the first for Jordan Love.
Well, what a talent at Utah State that they have at quarterback.
Preseason conference offensive player of the year. He'll roll out with it. Love on the run is across the 5-yard line, maybe 2.5 yards shy of a first down. Trey Rucker, the freshman, took him down.
A tipped pass from taking down the 10th ranked defense in the country a year ago on the road against Michigan State, and here he is trying to work his magic again against Wake Forest, an ACC opponent.
Week 1 last year, they led 31-30 late into the fourth. Lost that game, won the next 10. And then an 11th in the bowl.
Inside slant by the top slot looks inviting.
Love looking that way. Instead, he'll float it on the fade. It is intercepted. It's Trey Rucker again, the true freshman with an impact in his first Wake Forest quarter. Lyle Hemphill, Wake Forest defensive coordinator, told us, he's going to play a lot today, Trey Rucker. True to his word.
Well, they feel like he's got all the goods to be a special player. True freshman coming up with his first interception of his Demon Deacon career. You see a lot of that throughout that young man's career here in Winston-Salem.
Lyle told us that Warren Ruggiero, their offensive coordinator, did not want to see Trey Rucker at all against his offense.
They were
preseason.
bubbling about him when we got a chance to talk to Coach Hemphill yesterday.
So now Cade Carney as Wake Forest gets the football back. And let's go downstairs to Doc Punch for more.
Yeah, Demon Deacon running back Cade Carney injured his shoulder on the third day of spring practice. Had shoulder surgery. Was just cleared for contact a week ago. Wasn't sure how much he'd see tonight. So far looks pretty good.
And he needs to get that contact. That's a part of his game. What did Warren Ruggiero tell us about Cade Carney? If there's a safety free, he's not going to make a miss.
No, he's looking to deliver the punch as opposed to being punched.
Third down at 4. Carney stays in as a blocker. He had nobody to block. Gets a chip here. And Newman floats one for a first down. Stephen Claude out across the 40-yard line. A gain of 16.
Boy, excellent job by Jamie Newman keeping the play alive. And what I like most about it, what made the play, was his eyes down the field. Some quarterbacks, when you start to scramble, they pull it down to run. His eyes were still down the field, which is why he located his receiver.
Eyes down the field the whole way here. And now the redshirt junior Newman will take off. And a pickup of 4 yards. Justice Tae with the hit.
Well, that's as good as any run that you can draw up and try to block. And all of a sudden, everything spreads itself out. A nice little crease for Jamie Newman.
Newman with a late decision to give it to Carney. A hurdle. As we said, He's not making the safety miss. He's just going to run right through him.
You got to love that as a Wake Forest fan, as a college football fan. This guy's a throwback. Not going to dodge any contact, breaking tackles, running through guys. A nice run by Carney.
Here's Claude again with a broken tackle. Stephen Claude who had all of 7 career receptions coming into this year, has 2 in a row.
Tell you what a first quarter. A couple of turnovers. This Wake Forest defense holding up and turning Utah State away, and then the offense now on the move trying to reward the defense.
20 on the catch after a run of 26. And Carney is upended at the 6-yard line.
Kevin, you see that little delay as he feeds it into the breadbasket and just kind of rides Carney into the line of scrimmage. It allows the blocks to really set themselves, and then when Carney takes the football, he is off and running. You don't really see the zone read run quite like that. It's usually a quick read and pull, but they spend a lot of time working that over and over.
Injured Utah State player, meanwhile, on a 2nd down and goal. You look at Newman. Why is it that Wake Forest runs that particular version of the zone read?
Well, like I said, it's kind of trend setting. You're going to start to see more and more teams. It's why Le'Veon Bell just kind of sits patiently in the backfield, and it allows the blocks to set themselves, and then it's a burst. And you got to have a guy that's willing to engage and be patient enough for the offensive line to really go to work, get up on a guy, on the linebackers. Then once the ball's handed off, you got everybody pretty much taken care of, and it's a clean, nice alley in which to run through.
You're looking at Justice Tay, by the way, defensive end, a redshirt junior starter who leaves the field for Utah State.
You got Carney split out wide.
Already 62 yards on the ground. Came in 174 shy of 2,000 career.
Well, you got blitz coming here. And now Utah State checking out of it.
Newman will keep it. Jamie Newman takes a few men to get him down at the 3-yard line. Kevin Metzenheimer, first one there.
A little chess game being played here. You got Wake Forest diagnosing the defense. Okay, we're going to call a play, and then Utah State, once the play's called, they're checking their defense, getting to something else, a different look.
3rd and goal. Newman will throw it. It's dropped. Scotty Washington had inside position on Zahadri Jackson and couldn't hang on.
And this is where they love Scotty Washington. Big body type who has played well at the end of seasons, and he usually gets off to a slow start, and that would qualify as getting off to a slow start. He can't throw it any better. That one hit him right in the middle of the 7.
So a field goal try for Wake Forest terrific sophomore Nick Skiba. 19 of 22 last year. 4th most accurate freshman of the country. This from 21. And a line drive kick goes through.
Whoa. Barely.
Not much of a launch angle, but 3 all the same. And Skiba's 1 for 1.
Like that putt that you make, and they say you barely made it. There's no room on the scorecard to write comments. Just write that score in.
That was a general you, right? Not specific me, because I don't make that putt. So Dave Clawson's Demon Deacons in the lead. On the other sideline, Andre, this may be a familiar face to you. That is Jason Phillips, wide receivers coach, passing game coordinator at Utah State.
This man made me look good. Caught a lot. It was on the end of a lot of my passes, 108 to be exact, back in our last year playing together.
Well, here's a new segment in honor of the 30th anniversary of your Heisman Trophy win. Photographic evidence. Where are they now? Where in the world is Jason Phillips? Where was Jason Phillips? These are the 2 years before you won the Heisman, and this seems like a frequent connection.
And that was a good afternoon in Austin. As I mentioned, on the end of a lot of, we played a little catch earlier today and got a chance to visit down on the field before the game. One of my best friends, and love the guy. Love him to death.
What was that afternoon like in Austin? Some folks saw that on the CFB 150 show a couple of nights ago.
Not a lot of people saw that coming, that trip to Austin, and we just relished in the moment.
207 yards, that's pretty, or receptions, that's pretty good in 2 years. Savon Scarver from his own goal line, the All-American kick returner last year, with an excellent return stretched across the 30 and a late flag. I hope some folks saw that. There are a whole lot of CFB 150 shows coming out this year, 150th anniversary of college football.
During the return, holding, number 41, return team. Penalty will be half the distance from the spot of the foul. First down.
Elijah Shelton on the penalty.
Boy, Utah State kind of missing some opportunities. A big return there, going to be wiped out by a holding penalty. They've been in the red zone 3 times and only 7 points to show for it. You're on the road. It's a tough environment. First game of the year. Now backed up on your 10-yard line to start this drive.
And a defensive touchdown by Woodward was negated earlier by the Adams penalty. So Utah State has lost some points, lost some yards. It's a very young team, one of the least experienced in the country.
Yeah, especially on the offensive side of the ball, where only 2 starters return, Love and Alfred Edwards, the left tackle.
And the left tackle Edwards gets beaten here, but Love gets rid of it quickly to Caleb Rep. Ordinarily that'd be the last play of the quarter, but maybe not with Utah State's tempo.
That first drive, 9 seconds. They're trying to use every tick of the clock to get a play off, and I guarantee trying to snap one here with 3 seconds.
And they do with 2. It is a handoff for Jalen Warren, and there he goes. Can Jalen Warren win the foot race with Nasir Greer? He cannot. Greer tracks him down at the 25. An explosive end to an explosive quarter.
Yeah, no doubt, but that is 2 scoring plays in which Nasir Greer has tracked down a Utah State player that was running for a touchdown.
61 yards on the 48th total play of the first quarter. We might have 200 in this game. What a way to start 2019 here at Winston-Salem. 48 total plays, 381 combined yards in an expeditious first 15 minutes. Wake Forest has the lead. Touchdowns for either side. Gerald Bright for Utah State after Jamie Newman connected with Sage Surratt for Wake Forest. In the last play, a 59-yard run officially from Utah State's Jalen Warren, tracked down by Nasir Greer, who's made a couple of touchdown-saving tackles already.
Well, here they are again, getting close to the red zone. They've got to capitalize with a chance to take the lead.
Jordan Love will hand it off, and that's going nowhere. And nowhere would have been better. Jasir Taylor with a stop and loss for Jalen Warren. First quarter numbers, Utah State, Wake Forest, 24-24 in terms of total plays. The Aggies had the yardage advantage, but they've been stopped twice in the red zone.
Well, they really like Jasir Taylor. Junior is going to play a lot, not only tonight but throughout the season. Excellent cover skills.
Jordan Love, the All Mountain West preseason offensive player of the year, and he throws that one behind Warren to set up 3rd and 12.
Starting to heat things up a little bit on Jordan Love, not allowing him to sit in the pocket and survey the field. Going to force the ball out of his hands with his new receiving core and challenge him a little bit. Get on the same page with the quarterback.
I'm sorry, after Utah State on the edge of the red zone, you saw the number there. Wake Forest was awful defensively in the red zone last year. 2 for 3 with stops right now, and they're trying to stop the Aggies at the 27. A rush of 4. Love delivers through it. Wow. And it's caught by Nathan. What a throw, what a catch. Touchdown, Utah State.
That's just flat out pretty. I mean, the delivery, he just kind of snaps it off. Doesn't pull it back. It's not an elongated delivery. It's nice and quick and compact. Watch the fundamentals here. Stepping up, working the pocket. Nice flick of the wrist, and it hits Nathan right in stride where Jasir Taylor can't even make a play on the football.
6th receiving touchdown of Jordan Nathan's career. He was the only wide receiver returning with 10 catches last season. It's a 5-play, 90-yard drive after the penalty negated a good kick return.
Well, we talked about whether or not Jordan Love can check the boxes way back in our open, and that last play just kind of exemplifies exactly what we were talking about. Can he work the pocket? Nice rush on the outside. He steps up, and the ball is out, flick of the wrist, on time and accurate to his receiver, Jordan Nathan, for 6 points. That, my friend, is how you play the position. And I talked to Coach Anderson when we had a chance to visit with him on the phone this week, and I said, hey, how reassuring was it knowing that you were coming back to Logan with a quarterback the caliber of Jordan Love? He says, well, that eases a lot of questions and a lot of tension when you have that answered at the right position. The leadership within your program, and it happens to be the quarterback, whether or not you want it or not. It's on your shoulders, and he has got the right guy pulling the strings at quarterback for him.
Gary Anderson said to us, I'm just excited to be on the sidelines when Jordan's
to watch him play. Yeah.
Everly's had a holder these last couple of kicks. This is a short one. Grabbed by Kenneth Walker, the freshman. And Walker, the third, is out across the 30. This season, for every field goal, an extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to that university's general scholarship fund. Thank you, All-State. Dave Clawson's Demon Deacons back on offense. They've run a scant 24 plays in 15 minutes and 56 seconds.
Boy, and the pressure just kind of keeps going back and forth, doesn't it? You have an opportunity to get in the end zone. Demon Deacons turn you away. They go up. Now the pressure's back on Wake Forest.
Quick hitter Newman to Kendall Hinton.
And what we like about it is both teams have been able to answer. Answering scores. Big drive to start the game for Wake Forest. Utah State comes back and answers. A field goal drive, the last possession for Wake Forest. Utah State comes back and answers. Question now is, can Wake Forest answer and put themselves back ahead in this football game? They can move the football. There's no doubt about it.
So far, so good. Steve Claude's third catch. He had 4 last year. He has 3 tonight. Newman off play action. A little bit of pressure as he throws, and Washington just dropped another. Oh, boy.
Well, and that's exactly what the coaching staff told us yesterday. He has slow starts to the season early, and then at the end of the season, Scotty Washington tends to come on. They want him to start fast and finish fast.
Newman all the way here. Fighting hard for an extra yard. Out of the grip of Kevin Metzenheimer. It'll be 3rd and long coming up.
I gotta feel like it's at some point that clock's going off, and I'm not getting any more. Let me get to the ground. Don't take any unnecessary hits that are coming, that are coming.
Suffered quad, ankle, and shoulder injuries early last year, Newman. Part of the reason Sam Hartman started the year.
Yeah, 4 incompletions in this game, and 2 of those have been drops. He's had a nice start to the 2019 season.
Where do you look here, 3rd and 8?
Well, he's got press coverage up top. That may be exactly where I'm going.
That's Claude up top, who's had 3 catches already. Make it a 4th. First down, Wake Forest.
And Claude's come up big for him throughout the ball game. You're going to a guy that you can trust is going to hold on to the football for you. And Claude has had a couple of nice grabs in this game. The press coverage up top, it got soft and allowed him to catch a nice little hitch.
Now Newman delivers a deep one.
Nice.
Brandon Chapman, the tight end, points in the right direction.
And he's more the inline blocking type tight end, able to slip out with all the coverage dropping off deep. Chapman slips off, and Newman right on time with the ball. Excellent throw and catch.
21 yards. His only incompletion on the drive, Newman, was the Washington drop. Late decision here. Beal Smith plunges forward for a good first down gain. David Woodward on the stop, and Wake Forest is in the red zone.
Well, excellent 1-2 punch at running back with Carney. We saw the power, and now we're going to get a chance to see some of the speed and elusiveness of Christian Beal Smith.
Newman keeps it this time. And there's a catch for Washington.
Yeah, how about that? Reward the young man. Keep going to him. Finally able to pull one in, and got an injured player down for the Aggies. Just throw and on the outside, away from coverage, making sure you get not just one foot, but both feet down.
Is that tough as a quarterback? You have a spot like that where a player drops two key ones. Do you automatically want to shy away from him?
That's a great question. And yes, you will shy away from him in key situations. The third down, I knew there was no way he was going to Scotty Washington on third down, but then came back to him later in the drive.
Injured Utah State player will return with the Demon Deacons in the red zone.
1-2.
Fualelua, the injured Utah State player, a first down for Wake Forest as we resume from the 12-yard line. Second night of ACC Network football. Here's Christian Beal Smith. Oh, upended on the hit by the 5'9" senior DJ Williams. Very good cornerback Williams, and 4 receptions last year. And a gain of 5 after the open field tackle. There's Leilua.
Yeah, that's one area. You don't want to see anyone get injured, but that's one area where Utah State is deep. They go about 9 deep along the defensive front.
Empty out the backfield. Newman will keep it. Worm his way inside the 5. He's 2 yards shy of a first down.
Looks like the big guy's getting his helmet back and starting to rev his motor a little bit and get back in this baby.
Oklahoma State transfer.
Well, he is stout against the run.
Wake Forest 4 of 6 on third downs. Newman will give it to Beal Smith. Doesn't need the end zone for a first down here, just needs the 2. And I think he's a little bit short.
Yeah, just shy of it. Now decision time for Coach Clausen here.
Got to go for this, right?
I think so. I mean, you got a big quarterback at Jamie Newman. This quarterback sneak this baby and pick up the first down.
And no Leilua in there. 295-pound seniors on the sideline for Utah State. Oh, a little bit of a late snap there.
I don't know.
I don't think he got it.
I don't either.
That was not perfect timing on the snap from the first-year starting center, Zach Tom.
When who's unraveling from the bottom? David Woodward, the All-American linebacker, and they won't even measure it.
So each team has held up on a fourth down. Wake Forest turns it over on downs at the 3.
He tries to push, maybe a jump. Everybody's low. And there is absolutely no give along the front of Utah State. A couple of wide bodies in there. They get lower. There's no push. Maybe over the top, but you got linebackers coming. Like, in hindsight, a little quick pitch to the outside to Beal Smith, who runs in the end zone.
This end of the field has seen 2 drives end on the 4-yard line and the 3-yard line.
This is where I like to dial one deep. You're back here, quick 3 steps and let it rip.
Love instead with a give to Bright.
It's dangerous.
Just got out of the end zone.
Yeah, that's my point. It's very dangerous to try to run the football here because the defense is thinking that way. So as an offense as high-powered as Utah State, take the 3 steps and then shoot it to the outside. Maybe you get pass interference. Maybe you get a completion.
Bright to the 5. Rested down by Dion Bergen, the nose tackle.
And now you're in a situation where, you know, Wake Forest pretty much knows you got to pass here. So maybe the draw play to fool them.
Timeout, Wake Forest.
Yeah, substitution timeout.
The first timeout of the half.
First of the half taken by Wake Forest. Third down, Utah State coming up.
9 minutes, 22 seconds on the clock. 9:22. Media timeout.
The college football playoff lives on ESPN.
Back here at Wake Forest, where Utah State leads Wake 14-10, and giving some early Pre-game, first game mistakes in terms of substitutions. You're going to have 10 men on the field as 2 run off at the bottom of your screen. That's left with 10, forcing Dave Clawson to call a timeout or burn one here in the second quarter.
Used his first of the quarter. He's got 11 on now for big third down. This could be a real field position turner. No 3 and outs tonight in nearly 21 minutes of game play.
That's insane.
We've had 65 plays.
A lot of production offensively for both teams.
Jordan Love will hand it off. Utah State plays it safe, and there's your first 3 and out. Ryan Smenda was all over that. The Mike linebacker, the sophomore for Wake.
Well, you got some young. This is a young receiving group for Utah State. And I got to believe if they're a little more experienced, they would have picked the ball up there and threw it. You got a quarterback that you totally believe in, so you know he's going to take care of it. But they're 3 runs trying to slip the draw underneath to get Bright the first down, but it's going to leave Wake Forest with some really, really good field position.
Aaron Dalton to kick it away. Missed all of last year. There is a flag down as Kendall Hinton makes a fair catch across midfield. Flag back at the line of scrimmage.
That one's going to be against Utah State. And add on to the end of this punt.
Illegal formation, kicking team. More than 4 players in the backfield. Ball will be tacked on, 5 yards, first down.
That's another first game mistake. You have an opportunity to really iron out some things a week from now. We won't see that. Timeouts being called with 10 guys on the field.
Well, there's Gary Anderson. He's back at Utah State, but Dr. Jerry Punch, the Aggies are without a key member of their family this season.
They certainly are. Utah State's beloved assistant equipment manager, Steve Wiley, nicknamed Night Runner, passed away back in December. You know, for the past 2 decades, he was the man who drove the equipment all night to get to and from away games. As the pass is complete over the middle. But Night Runner also was nicknamed Pops by players, as he was quite the father figure to so many. He routinely promised parents that he would keep an eye on their son when they were a part of the program. Steve Wiley was a decorated Vietnam War veteran and volunteered to do this, meaning he was never paid. He has to be buried right across from Maverick Stadium so he could keep an eye on the football team. Guys?
And you saw the tombstone there, Steve and his wife buried right across from the stadium as Carney goes high and Zahadri Jackson's helmet comes flying off. What's the end of this play?
I'll tell you what, Carney doesn't avoid contact, does he? About as throwback as they get. They're showing you some hops. What a drive. Nice pass to get it started to Scotty Washington, and here comes Wake again.
And there goes Utah State. Wake didn't snap it. Newman, short over the middle to the 15. That's the tight end Frudenthal, his second catch, a gain of 5.
I've been impressed with a game that Jamie Newman's playing. Reading coverage, getting the ball to the open receiver, and then taking care of it. Had 1 fumble, but pretty much is taking care of it.
Carney, again, just inviting contact, searching for it.
You know what that does? Later in the game, guys aren't as willing to come up and make contact with Cade Carney.
3rd and 1. This time Newman will take it, stick it across the 10. That's a first down.
Start to wear on you play after play, and big guy like that at 5'11", about 215, just keeps bringing it to your front door. Sooner or later, you stop coming outside.
Already 14 first downs for Wake Forest. They've run Newman a couple of times out of these empty sets, and now Carney returns to the backfield. Newman to throw it. Up for grabs, incomplete. He led Surratt a little too long. Andre Grayson in coverage.
Surratt with 1 touchdown reception. Excellent in the red zone. And they'd love to get Scotty Washington involved as well at 6'5". Another big target, but they're just trying to run a rub play to free up Surratt.
Boy, they had a good matchup. Washington on the bottom of the screen, 6'5" against 5'9" DJ Williams. Maybe Utah State saw that, and the Aggies take a timeout.
Full timeout.
2nd and goal for Wake Forest on what's become the cursed end zone when we return. First game as Utah State's head coach since 2012. Gary Anderson picks up where he leaves off in terms of intensity. Trying to fire up his defense, which is in a sticky situation right now. 2nd and goal from the 10.
That's his baby. The defensive line especially. He's wanting to get some heat, but we got a nice matchup down at the bottom. 6'5" Scotty Washington against 5'9" DJ Williams.
Here he goes. Scotty Washington wins it. 7 on 7 for 6.
Well, you got 6'5" working on 5'9". That is an inviting meal all day long for a quarterback. Throw it up, and Scotty Washington gets great separation off the line, high points the ball, just makes it look easy.
How about the roller coaster of emotions for Scotty Washington tonight? He dropped a touchdown. He dropped the next pass thrown to him.
That's behind you. It's next play. Next play. Play the next one.
Credit to Jamie Newman. Kept coming back to him, and now Scotty's got 3 in a row, and Wake Forest has the lead. This is the matchup we were looking at coming into this game. These are the Utah State starters. And for the top wide receivers for Wake Forest, Washington at 6'5", Surratt at 6'3". Maybe their top 2 guys, and they've already made an impact.
And where it really shows itself is in the red zone. When you get down close, Surratt made a nice red zone touchdown catch, and then there, Washington, right here, Washington with an excellent move and release off the line of scrimmage. Just set it on the top and allow him to climb the ladder and go get it. Nice job there by Washington to complete the play. That's the start that they want Scotty Washington to have to the 2019 season.
And he never had it last year. Just 20 catches. He missed the first couple of games, and he was never really healthy after hurting the shoulder in camp. But Wake Forest fans remember Scotty Washington at the end of 2017. 9 catches, $138 in the Belk Bowl. One of their best receivers that year. And the way he feels, the Wake Forest coach just told us, they think this is more the 2017 version of Scotty Washington.
Good offseason.
Fair catch made by Scarver. We go downstairs to Doc Punch.
During the timeout prior to the touchdown catch a moment ago, Kevin Higgins, a wide receiver coach for Wake Forest, came out and patted Scotty Washington on the back, said, "Are you ready? Are you ready?" Higgins has been talking about how Washington, coming back from the shoulder injury, has become a leader in the last month in fall camp. He has brought the young receivers out, challenged them to get better, told them to go watch film with him. He has wanted to lead on the field, and they were waiting for an opportunity to give him that chance. The timeout, the pat on the back, and he responds with a touchdown catch.
Well said, Doc. Just got to keep believing in a guy and giving him opportunities. Let him play his way out of whatever he's going through.
So how does Utah State answer? Jordan Love to Siosi Mariner.
This is what I expected when they were backed up inside their 5-yard line. Throw your way out of it. It's the strength of your team, and then the run comes with it. You throw to open up the run, not vice versa if you're playing in this Aggie offense.
Incomplete there, a little too tall for 5'8" Jordan Nathan.
Usually that's a catch by Nathan. Best hands on this offensive side of the football.
Jordan Love on pace for 300 plus, 7 300-yard games last year, and he didn't play in 11 quarters because Utah State won so many blowouts.
Something quick on the outside edges. You got it to the short side of the field at the top, a nice little quick hitch. We'll get it.
Run play instead for Warren. He is dropped shy of the first down. Rondell Bothroyd, who's starting at defensive tackle because of an injury to Tyler Williams, made the stop.
You got to punt it away now. You're well on your side of the 50-yard line, minus territory. But soft coverage up front, up top, and just an unblocked defensive end, able to squeeze down and make a nice play.
Wake Forest. That's their second timeout of the half.
Bothroyd with an excellent play off the edge.
30-second timeout.
Does it seem like Wake Forest is starting to heat up, on both sides of the football?
It's not just you. It's this guy, too. He's starting to heat up.
He's feeling it a little bit, feeling the 2019 college football season.
I believe that's called feeling yourself. Foam finger not to scale. Tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, tune in for the Huddle right here on ACC Network, streaming live in the ESPN app. Jack Collinsworth, Eric McLean, E.J. Manuel, and Mark Richt will have comprehensive previews of the weekend slate of games and keep you updated on everything happening in ACC football. As far as that guy's concerned, there is nothing else happening in ACC football.
Other than Wake Forest football, that's it.
Why not on a night like this? With the program ascending to new heights, 3 straight bowl wins.
A short punt here.
Nice catch there made off the bounce. And we got a stick here. It was grabbed by Hinton in between 6 different players. Whistle dead around the 30 at the 28. A punt of 38 eventually. Jack, it has been fun, especially if you're a quarterback, and we got one up here with me, Andre Ware, watching Jamie Newman deliver a couple of touchdown throws. Hand off here to Cade Carney.
That's about the only thing this Wake Forest offense does, is hand it off and allow blocks to set itself, because they have been at a pace that has just been unreal.
I think they take longer to let the blocks develop than they do to snap the ball to the next play.
That is a great point.
Newman keeps it up the gut.
Excellent run.
6'4", 230 right there.
Nice tough run.
9
Jamie
yards.
Newman. And now if you're Wake Forest, what you'd like to do is chew up a bunch of this clock, not be in a hurry to score, and then put one in the end zone with as little time left on the clock, so Utah State doesn't have an opportunity to get any more points here in the first half.
Newman hit and dropped. That was Fua Leilua with his sack. Remember, he had come out of the game with an injury earlier. There is a flag in the backfield, too.
Maybe a hands to the face here on Leilua.
Personal foul. Legal hands to the face. Number 44. Defense. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
Yeah, because Zach Tom, his helmet came off. Now he's usually
foul calls number 50's helmet to come off. Therefore, he may stay in the game.
It's an excellent point and well explained, because his helmet only came off because of the hands to the face. And so he's allowed to stay in the game. Usually it's a play when a player's helmet comes off, you're out of the game for a play. But because the defender, Leilua, forced the helmet off of Zach Tom, he's allowed to indeed continue to play.
4th penalty against Utah State, and what's been a penalty-free first half for Wake Forest. There's David Woodward with another tackle on Cade Carney.
How about the game that Woodward's having? I mean, I have been impressed. 6'2", 235, and just playing all over the field.
First team All-American last year by Pro Football Focus, which graded him out as the nation's top linebacker. They had him down for just 2 missed tackles in 13 games.
He's excellent off the edge. Plays stout against the run. Is good against the pass.
Already 12 tackles, on pace for his second career 20 tackle game. Here's Leilua with a legal hit. Newman got close to the line of scrimmage, but a yard shy. 3rd and 11 coming up.
Big down here. As I mentioned, your Wake, you want to score with as little time left because you know how fast Utah State can get the ball in the end zone. They got to take care of things first here on third down. Big cushion at the top.
That's Sage Surratt up there. Newman hit as he throws, ball's out. It's picked up by a Wake Forest player.
I think that's David Woodward again knocking the ball out.
Cade Carney got it.
Carney can't block him, and he makes his way right to Newman. That's the second time. The first one was returned for a touchdown, but called back because of a holding penalty in the secondary. This one's going to force a punt and give Utah State some time to put together a drive.
I wonder if this play is about to be reviewed. Newman was calling for an incomplete pass. That would save some yardage for Wake Forest. Jamie might be on the phone with the replay official right now. Hey, take a look at that, will you?
I think they moved the chains early, and they're just trying to get the chains reset.
Let's see if the ball's still in the hand when it's coming forward. It is not. That's a fumble. It won't be reviewed.
Fumble. It's taken right off his throwing hand. He's got to feel the pressure and step up a little bit more in the pocket. Feel it coming from the outside. You got to go ahead and push up. Be willing to push up into the pocket away from defenders.
Wake will let the play clock bleed. Maggio gets the kick off. And it is a little too long. Downstairs, Dr. Punch. Doc?
Guys, pretty special halftime performance coming up here for the folks at BB&T Field. New Wake Forest Athletic Director John Curry has invited the award-winning Red Sea of the Sound Marching Band from Winston-Salem State University. Now, last year, ESPN voted them the #1 band among historically black college and universities among Division II marching bands. They are electric, and they are going to perform at halftime with the Wake Forest Marching Band coming up in about 2 minutes.
That is awesome. We will be glued to our seats up here.
Who else has been electric? The Utah State was electric their first 4 possessions. 14 points, 9 first downs, 236 yards. The last 2 possessions, not so electric. Just 14 yards, and they have yet to pick up a first down.
Love will try to change that on this first play. Lofts it in between coverage to Nathan, who had running room and gets taken down at the 45. That's 25 yards on first down.
So much for that for Jordan Love under center.
Out of the flats this time, the tight end Carson Terrell with his first catch.
That's what we were talking about, Kevin, that you can't leave any time on the clock for this offense. They spread it out, they get it out of their hands quickly, and they can score as fast as anyone.
Love with a sidearm slinger there. Broken tackle by Gerald Bright. Wow, that was something out of absolutely nothing at a first down. 89 seconds to go.
And keep in mind, in college football, every first down until they reset the chains, it's the clock's going to stop.
Handoff Bright. Another broken tackle and finally wrestled down by Isang Bassi.
And another first down.
11 yards. Well, Utah State, Andre, led the nation last year in scoring drives under a minute. They're getting close.
29 of them under a minute.
Out of the flats again. Bright gets out of bounds at 111.
They can put up points in a hurry. Second in the country in points scored per game, or average points per game, only to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma had a pretty good quarterback last year, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
And Utah State still got a pretty good one.
Fraternity brother.
Love. Complete to Nathan.
Boy, that is an excellent open field tackle by Nasir Greer. The safety coming up in the open field. If he doesn't make that tackle, when Nathan may be dancing in the end zone.
It's the third time we've said that about a career tackle today.
Big down here for Wake Forest to get themselves off the field.
Where's the matchup here for Love?
It's the tight end in the slot uncovered, but with a safety way back at the top of the screen.
Love will float it for the end zone. It is incomplete. Mariner didn't get a foot down.
Oh, what a throw. And Mariner makes the catch, but he's ridden out of bounds. About a corner Bassey to that side. A lot of scouts think highly of Bassey. Whoa.
Oh, man.
Did he tap the right foot down?
That might be worth a look.
That is worth a look. My goodness, that was close. Yeah, they got to take a look at that one.
The ruling on the field is an incomplete pass. Previous play is under further
I thought
review.
he was well out of bounds, Kevin, in real time. But you go back and take a look in slow-mo or at the replay, and it looks like the foot just may have contacted the ground just enough. Take a look. The right foot is what we're looking at. That is close.
It's hard to tell where it hits there. It certainly hits close.
This may give us a better look. Oh, yeah. That's touchdown. That's touchdown. That right. The toe tap. That's 6 points. And another magical throw by Jordan Love. Bang. Right there.
My only question is it enough to overturn?
I think
is it
so.
conclusive?
I think so. I think so. I think so. I think it's a touchdown.
You're not the only one.
Yeah, I think it's 6 points.
They're going crazy on the Utah State sideline after a replay that was just shown on the video board. Still waiting for word from our replay official, Larry Malum.
That's a little far away, that look, but there was another that was ideal that made me think this one's going to be overturned and ruled a touchdown catch.
One more look.
I think the toe tap's right there. Right there is where it's down.
If that's called a touchdown on the field, that's going to stand. My only question is it conclusive enough to overturn?
I'm saying yes. And you can see his head go down to see where he is on the field.
After further review, it was determined that the receiver's right toe was in bounds.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Touchdown. It's a great call by the replay officials upstairs. 6 for 6 on this drive was Jordan Love for 69 yards and the 17-yard touchdown toss.
And he might be the coolest, calmest guy, Andre, on the Utah State sideline.
He's a player.
My goodness. This is before we had the official word. This is why Utah State was reacting beforehand. Hey, Gary, I got news for you. It's 6.
It's almost like he didn't want to know that hey, I'm going to keep my head down and just let it reveal itself. And the official went right over to him and told him it's 6. It feels pretty good if you're the head coach at Utah State.
Jordan Love's second passing touchdown of the game. He had 32 last year. Man, oh man, is that kid special.
He impressed you tonight?
I was impressed talking to him a couple of days ago. We asked him about what drives him, and he said the desire to be great from his father, who then told him to turn that greatness into excellence. And He had a great learning experience at the Manning Academy, Jordan Love, this summer as well. Tried to implement the things they did with their wide receivers, Peyton and Eli.
Learned how to push them, how to bring them out, and not just go out and throw, but to get into the finer details of the passing game.
Thursday night, 7 Eastern, right here on ACC Network. A very good women's soccer matchup. Top 10 Virginia ranked 6th in the country against one of last year's national semifinalists, the Georgetown Hoyas. Thursday night, 7 Eastern. Streaming live on the ESPN app and right here on ACC Network. Utah State has retaken the lead in this topsy-turvy first half. Love and Mariner celebrating in style.
It's a new core of receivers for Jordan Love. As we mentioned, only Alfred Edwards, the left tackle, returned with Jordan Love from last year's offense as starters.
Game clock started late there, but it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Wake Forest, for once, doesn't seem in a hurry.
No, you just want to get out of here and not make a mistake on your end of the field where it leads to maybe a turnover and a quick score by Utah State. So they're content to go into halftime just down by 4 with 30 minutes left to play.
2 years ago on this field, Wake Forest won 46-10. The roster's distinctly different here, and a young Utah State team has the lead in a first half featuring 617 yards and 89 plays. Downstairs, Dr. Jerry Punch.
Coach, you talked about how dangerous Jordan Love was going to be and how concerned you were. 2 touchdowns, first 4 possessions, and then the 1 at the end of the half. What are your thoughts about the play of your defense?
I mean, right now, we're not disrupting him at all. He's able to set his feet, and if you give him time and give those receivers time to get open, he's going to hit balls. So we've got to disrupt him more than we have.
Offensively, Jamie Newman's made some pretty good decisions running the ball and throwing it, but he's also let go of the football a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, we're very fortunate that we only have 1 turnover and not 3.
Well, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
We're at halftime here in Winston-Salem with the Utah State Aggies up 21-17 over the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest. Back to the studio after this.
Welcome back to ACC Network College Football, presented by Dr. Pepper. Gary Anderson back at Utah State. His Aggies have the lead on the road, 21-17 over Wake Forest. Wild and woolly first half, 89 plays, over 600 yards, Andre Ware.
Yeah, got started with Jamie Newman to Sage Surratt. That got the scoring started, but it didn't take Utah State long. Gerald Bright got himself into the end zone. Then Jordan Love decided to get himself into the party. A nice touchdown pass to Jordan Nathan. Newman came right back to Scotty Washington in a matchup he liked. And then a SportsCenter top 10 COC Mariner catch into the half of scoring. A bunch of yards in 89 plays, over 600 yards of total offense combined on 89 plays in just the first half of this one.
Allegedly, each team had 2 punts. I certainly don't remember them, but they happened. The defenses have not had their finest hours so far, as to be expected with these up-tempo offenses. This kick is out of bounds right near the pylon and through the end zone for a touchback. Well, Jordan Love, considered one of the top quarterbacks, one of the top quarterback draft prospects, Andre, in the nation. How do you assess his first half?
Yeah, I think he threw the ball extremely well to all areas of the field. Outside, along the sidelines, into the interior to the tight ends, along the numbers, pushing the ball down the field. And then with accuracy, stepping up in the pocket, over the middle, where his receivers catch it, and they can get yards after the catch because it's thrown so accurately.
Love's first throw of the half is caught by Gerald Bright. He's immediately dropped behind the line of scrimmage. Loss of a couple. Lucas Masterson in on the play. Loss of 4. Utah State will go up-tempo anyway. 41 plays in a game, 326 yards, about 8 yards per play.
Yeah, why slow it down? I mean, go ahead and punch the gas a little, see how much you got under the hood.
It's not just the tempo, it's the threat of tempo, these coaches tell us. Getting up to the line quickly. That is dropped.
Boy, and I tell you what a throw.
Savon Scarver couldn't handle it.
That's the right hash throwing a hitch all the way across the field to Scarver, and it was on a frozen rope. That is why NFL scouts just rave about Jordan Love. I mean, you could take this kid and insert him anywhere in the country, and you'd get the same results. We're lucky to have him at Utah State.
6 incompletions, 2 have been dropped. 2 receivers left, 2 right on a 3rd and 14. It's a screen game for Bright. He needs the 35, and he's not going to get there. First down, saving tackle by the captain, Justin Sternad, the All-ACC linebacker.
Yeah, Sternad all over the field, a sideline-to-sideline player, and he proved it there. He's got an all-around skill set that you look for in a linebacker. And certainly he started his career in high school, played defensive back. So that's part of the reason why he can play sideline to sideline. But they've had a few big time, and their first down saving tackle, but a couple of big time touchdown saving tackles.
3rd 3 and out in the last 4 trips. The 6th-year punter Aaron Dalton gets it away. And nothing on the return for Kendall Hinton. Downstairs to the 3rd member of our broadcast crew, Dr. Jerry Punch.
Guys, you got to love Aggie head coach Gary Anderson at halftime when he stopped and said, hey, we are watching 2 incredible offenses here in the first half. It's like a heavyweight fight, punch, counter punch. He said, now, for us defensively, we are struggling with our man coverage. He said that jump ball in the end zone is a prime example of that. He said we've got to be able to mix up our zone coverage in the secondary, and also we got to make some adjustments in the middle to try to stop the run better. But boy, offensively, this is quite a show.
Yeah, Doc, I think it actually, Kevin, starts with stopping the run. You can't allow Cade Carney and Christian Beal-Smith to continue to run at a clip in which they do, because it opens up so many other things for Wake Forest's offense. I think it starts right now in the second half with stopping the run and being able to slow down this rushing attack of Wake Forest.
Nearly 4.5 per carry so far. The injured long snapper Brennan Potta just left the field for Utah State. So here's Jamie Newman at his own 35 after a 14 for 19 2-touchdown first half. Terrific numbers for each quarterback of the game. Newman has lost a fumble as well. Throws it on first down. That's Sage Serrato with a touchdown early, and he is ripped across midfield. That's a first down gain of 15.
Yeah, the action just caught DJ Williams, who's in zone coverage, leaning inside to go help and run support, and it left Surratt just out there wide open. Good RPO there by Wake Forest.
Officially 17. Now Newman pressured, spins away from 1, can't get away from 2. Nick Henninger, a grad transfer who came over from Utah with Gary Anderson, makes the stop.
Lua in there as well on the tail end of it, cleaning up some things, but they're finally getting pressure, and I expect to see Wake Forest defensively as well, with a little more pressure packages on Jordan Love when they're on the defensive side.
After Henninger's first career sack, Newman is dropped again. There's David Woodward once more with a 13 tackle first half, and has a couple here the second.
That's exactly what Coach Anderson wants. Success on first and second down and stopping the run and creating 3rd and long.
Here's Kendall Hinton, needs a couple of blockers. He's pretty close, and this might be 4th and go for it territory for Wake Forest.
I don't think you flinch. You go for it here, and that's a lot. Playing soft zone, getting blocked up on the edges. I don't think Coach Clausen's going to flinch. You're across the 50-yard line. Got to go for it here.
4th and just a yard. The running back is Carney.
I like the decision.
Is this a run play or a pass for you?
They're packed inside expecting run. I may swing it out wide down low to Surratt.
Motion man is hit and fake to him. Newman will flip it to Carney for the first down.
Boy, and that's a pretty good option as well. Sure-handed guy, Cade Carney. When you get him in space, he does the smart thing, not trying to make anybody miss, just get the first down.
Newman goes to the safety valve, a little too high for Kendall Hinton.
Let's go back and take a look at that fourth down play with a nice play fake inside, think and run, and they're able to swing it out to Carney. Left all alone out there in the flat.
Wake Forest's first returning 1,000-yard rusher since 2005, Cade Carney. Adds his first catch to 77 on the ground. Newman a strike to Steve Claude, who has more catches tonight than he did all of last year. That's his 5th. And he's a little bit hobbled at the end of it.
I'll tell you what, he's had a nice evening and creating the space necessary by just beating his man off the line of scrimmage.
3rd and 2, Claude again, 6 targets, 6 catches.
Why not? I mean, he has got a matchup, but he likes it, and he's limping and wanting some more. Beating Adams. Adams cannot hold up in man-to-man against Claude.
Carney lowers his shoulder, got hit at the line of scrimmage, and picks up 3 anyway. Tipa Naliai made the stop. Claude has finally left the game. He's going to get some attention on the sideline.
They check Scotty Washington in his place, and they've got the matchup they want at the bottom against DJ Williams.
Carney. Wake Forest moved the pile, got a little extra push. Very experienced offensive line. They lost Phil Haynes, a 4th-round pick of Seattle, but they still got a good line. And they got a big man in Washington who will stay in for this 3rd down.
This is a nice start to the second half for Dave Clawson and his offensive bunch. Big receiver in Washington.
Another run play. Look at Newman get out there as sort of a blocker, and it's enough for a first down. Carney to the 6.
I saw him do that on film, and I had to ask the coaching staff, is that part of the offensive system? And the answer was yes. They ask him to do it every once in a while. Certainly with his size, all he's got to do is get in the way of somebody. It doesn't have to be knockout blocks, but at 6'4", 230, just kind of get in the way of a defender and give Carney some room.
Stay on the ground. Carney, patient, and down to the 1.
Boy, it is frustrating for a defensive front because you don't know if Newman's going to give it or pull it.
He gives it here, and Carney got given. Metzenheimer with a big hit on the 13th play of the drive.
I think Carney does a nice job, Kevin, of kind of hiding himself where he's not really telling the defense that he has the ball, holding the mesh point a long period of time.
Newman has it this time for the Wake Forest touchdown.
Well, it is a copycat sport, and you are going to see more teams adopt that style when you're running zone read.
Jamie Newman, 4 scores on the ground last year. He's thrown for 2, he's run for 1, this one from a yard out.
And they tag it sometimes with RPOs where Newman will pull it out of there and spin it outside.
Fourteen-play drive in just about 4.5 minutes. 3 total touchdowns for Jamie Newman. His Demon Deacons are back in front. Great moment here at the half in Winston-Salem. The Winston-Salem State University Band, the Red Sea of Sound, played alongside the Wake Forest Band. Fun show for us and for the near sellout crowd here in Winston-Salem. There's the Red Sea of Sound, the Marching Rams. What's the best football band you've ever seen?
Oh boy, that's a good one. The Ocean of Soul, TSU, Texas Southern.
What a great name, the Ocean of Soul. I'd like to live in one of those. He's Andre Ware. I'm Kevin Brown. Third member of our broadcast crew is downstairs. That's Dr. Jerry Punch. Doc, what do you got?
Yeah, pretty good news for the Demon Deacons. Their wide receiver, Steve Claude, who came limping out on the previous possession. Nothing but a cramp. Going to try to get some fluids in him. He should be okay. And the Mike backer, Ryan Spinda, went to the locker room a moment ago with a shoulder. They examined his shoulder. He just now trotted back out with a brace and some tape. They expect him back in the game probably during this series.
Doc, thank you. He is a doctor, and he did stay at a Hampton Inn last night. Dr. Jerry Punch, our man down on the sidelines. From the 25, Utah State starts its second drive of the half. A completion to Savon Scarver and a gain of 5 yards.
Well, the coaches rave about Jordan Nathan, his blocking ability on the outside. And there he showed it, actually getting Scarver a couple of extra yards just by the block on the outside.
Love, should have been intercepted into the midst of Justin Sternad. He is Justin Sternad.
Boy, I don't know. Jordan Love sitting there looking right at him and maybe expecting the receiver to cut underneath the linebacker. He goes over the top, and it just left Sternad right there to take it to the house. First things first, though, young man. Big down here. Who's he gone to? Jordan Nathan in most third down situations.
Love does not have space. Boogie Basham closed it off. The top pass rusher for the Deeks has his first sack of the year.
Lyle Hemphill told us yesterday he is expecting a big year from Boogie Basham. Said if he doesn't come up with 15 sacks this year, he'd be surprised. Athletic enough to play tight end, has the speed of a running back at 6'5", 275 pounds. It's the fourth 3 and out that Wake Forest has forced tonight.
This is a good punt, driving Hinton back inside his own 25. Makes the fair catch there for Wake Forest.
Arguably the greatest player to ever play at Wake Forest was an All-American here in 1964 by the name of Brian Piccolo. He led the nation in rushing and scoring and was voted Atlantic Coast Conference Player of the Year. He would go on to play 4 years for the Chicago Bears. His life, friendship with teammate Gale Sayers, and courageous battle with cancer was chronicled in a 1971 made-for-TV movie entitled Brian's Song. He lost his battle with cancer at the age of 26, but he is remembered here all over the Wake Forest campus as being one of the all-time greatest Demon Deacons in football history.
And Doc, I think maybe not just the preeminent player, but maybe the preeminent Demon Deacon human as well. The legacy that he left on and off the field. We celebrate Brian Piccolo as part of our CFB 150, the 150th anniversary of college football, which has seen so many wonderful characters on and off the field over the decades. Christian Beal-Smith with a short carry. He lost a yard on first down. You're going to see that logo a lot this year, 150. All season long on our ESPN family networks, we'll be covering the history of this great game, the past, the present, and the future. Future which looks bright for both of these programs. Beal-Smith.
Boy, just that action just forces you to have to stay at home. You can't really guess. You have to stay in your rush and your run lanes and just play the play through. If you move you adjust or try to adjust to what Jamie Newman is doing, you find yourself out of position, and all of a sudden Cade Carney is slicing you up.
Deeks have been very good on third down. They were 42% last year.
This is exactly where Coach Anderson wants his team, third and long.
Quick hitter Hinton, and down he goes. It wasn't Woodward with a tackle. It was Jacoby Wildman who came in to clean it up later, and that's the first 3 and out forced by Utah State.
Actually, the same play that they picked up a third and long on before, just different defense. Went to man, There wasn't a whole lot of space for Hinton to get himself started. And they're able to make a nice tackle in the open field and force a punt here. And Utah State's going to have some pretty good field position with any type of return.
Punt is away from Maggio, and it's over to the sideline. Utah State led the nation in 3-and-outs forced per game last year. Aggies get their first one here at 6:15 to the third, and they'll have it after the flag.
Holding, number 25, receiving team. The penalty will be enforced from the end of the kick. First down.
Jared Green with a hold. Hurts the field position for Utah State, which will have it down 3. Utah State last year dropped the opener at Michigan State by 7, won the next 10. First 10-game win streak in program history. They finished ranked. Tied a school record 11 wins, 7 conference victories. Jordan Love was awesome. Second team all-conference, 39 total touchdowns. They were so good that Matt Wells got a new job. He went to Texas Tech. And Gary Anderson returned. It's an unusual coaching transition because Anderson had been there from 09 to 12. He had been with Mike Sanford Sr., and he now has his son Mike Jr., who was the head coach at Western Kentucky, as the new offensive coordinator. Mike Sanford Jr. was very excited about this job for a couple of reasons, Andre, one of which was he got to snowboard again, which you can't really do in Kentucky. And look at this hurdle by Jordan Nathan.
How about that?
That's catching some air. Don't need a slope for Jordan Nathan, 17 yards.
Let's get airborne, baby. I'm just shocked that he was able to get all the way over the top of someone, and they're standing straight up. Luke Masterson, all 6'2" of it.
Jordan Nathan, he was crowd surfing at the end of this. Here's Devin Tompkins, the slot receiver, with a burst. Good night, Devin. 2 plays. 63, make it 73 yards on the quickest drive of the night for Utah State.
And he's not big, but he's tough. 4.3 speed is what Coach Phillips told me about his young receiver out of Fort Myers, Florida, Dunbar High School.
First career touchdown for Tompkins. And the extra point added by Eberle.
What a football game. What a football game. With Tompkins hit a nice crease, and it was off to the races. Nobody gonna touch Devin Tompkins as Utah State retakes the lead. Get it back quick to him.
56-yard pitch and catch. Jordan Love's third touchdown throw of the game to Devin Tompkins.
Yeah, 2 excellent blocks at the top of the screen, and then it's just off to the races by Tompkins. And where in the world is Nasir Greer? Why is he not on the field? The game, the touchdown-saving tackler for Wake Forest.
He's had either 2 or 3 touchdown-saving tackles. He couldn't save it from the bench. Utah State is back in the lead on this Friday night. Tomorrow, our first full Saturday of the season, College Football 2019, right here on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. A triple header. In-state battle to start East Carolina, North Carolina State at noon. Virginia Tech and BC, 2 teams that would love to get off on the right foot in conference play at 4 Eastern. Their seasons could go any which way. And then Virginia and Pitt, 7:30 Eastern, ACC Network primetime, presented by Geico. A lot of folks love Bryce Perkins and Virginia in the Coastal this year. Jamie Newman with a very late pullout, and that pass a little behind Sage Surratt.
Nice inside slant route, and it's just thrown behind him. They get good pressure in the face of Jamie Newman, which I think they're going to start mixing this thing up defensively a little bit.
Newman for Hinton, makes a man miss. Kendall Hinton, so slithery. He could be the first Wake Forest player, Andre, with a touchdown in 5 years if he scores this year.
Yeah, making the move this year from quarterback to slot receiver full time.
And Justice Tae is injured, second time he's been down for Utah State.
Kendall Hinton, he's taken over for Greg Dortch, who is with the now with the New York Jets. But they need a playmaker at that spot, and they feel like he's got enough shiftiness. The hands have come along, and the route running, he's matured in that area as well, and had a good spring and fall camp to where they feel confident that he is the guy to take over.
Warren Ruggiero told us yesterday Kendall Hinton was thinking about joining the transfer portal last year.
Yeah.
He had been suspended at the start of the year, was maybe going to be the starting quarterback. They couldn't make him a slot receiver, which the coaches wanted to do because of the injury to Newman, then the injury to Sam Hartman. He had to be the backup quarterback most of the year when he returned. Finally, at the end of the season, he got to play slot full time, and he had 3 big catches in their win in the Birmingham Bowl. Full off season has done him wonders. He's already grabbed 5 catches, 7 targets today. Here's a sneak on 3rd and 1. Newman plows ahead for 2 and a first.
It's just hard to stop. I know that earlier they were able to get low and turn him away, but with that frame at 6'4", 230, quarterback sneak is almost a given.
Pressure in his face. Newman gets away from Woodward, and Washington drops another.
He's made some great catches and he's let a couple get away from him. That's just concentration, seeing it into your hands and tucking it away. 3 big drops tonight for Scotty Washington.
Newman all the way. Devon Anderson's in there, the defensive tackle from Baltimore.
And you got an injured Utah State defender down.
And it is Anderson who was in on the tackle. Dodge City Community College transfer.
Maybe his lower leg, left leg. Try to.
Well, 3rd and 9 coming up. We were talking about Kendall Hinton earlier, Doc, and what a journey it's been for this young man.
Yeah, Kendall Hinton, we talked about the fact that he was suspended and almost off the team. He had to sit in his own room a year ago and watch these first 3 games on television. And he talked about the fact that he put his name in the transfer portal, then took it back out. But the best thing that happened to him was in May when he got to walk across the stage as a graduate. He got his degree at Wake Forest University in health and exercise science. He said, a year ago, I was immature. I've learned so much. I'm a different man. And now, most importantly, I'm a college graduate with a diploma from Wake Forest University.
That's a great story, Doc. Sometimes the easy thing to do is to just transfer and forget everything. And sometimes it's more rewarding when you just stick it out.
Sage Surratt on a 3rd and 9 as a first down for Wake Forest. He was going to be stopped short. He got away from a couple of Utah State players for 15.
Well, he was wrapped up early, and I thought the play was going to be cut short, and he just kept plowing forward.
Surratt again, the 2nd all-time leading scorer in basketball in the state of North Carolina. He's the first ever player of the year in basketball and football in North Carolina history.
They're going to continue to pick on DJ Williams at 5'9", 180. These big receivers, wouldn't be surprised they go right back to it.
3 in a row.
No doubt.
And Surratt gets out of the Williams tackle inside the 20 for a first down.
I might give him. Just slow the tempo down a little bit and go right back there. Again, that's 3 plays in a row to Sage Surratt. And the coverage dictates.
Are they going to keep isolating him? Newman will go the other way this time. And Newman is sacked. What a play from Christopher Unga, who blew it up. His first full sack of his career.
He's going to continue to work. Finally comes free, and Jamie Newman, he had such a running start on him, he couldn't make a move to make the big fella miss. Boy, I like Surratt again.
Long throw grab by Washington, and Washington gets just about everything for Wake Forest. The 11 yards back, and another 8 or 9. It's third and very short coming up.
And he's got them whenever he wants. The matchups on the outside, big receivers against these smaller corners, you just work the edges.
Third down, Carney for the first, up the gut, and across to the 5.
That is the mismatch in the football game for Wake Forest. 6'5" and 6'3" on one side. 6'5" on one side, 6'3" on the other.
Newman will go for 6'3", but he airmailed it.
And I think Surratt just cut his route short. He'd be a little winded after the workload that he's had on this drive.
3 touchdowns total for Newman.
Now they got him down here side by side in the lower part of the screen.
Fakes the pitch. He'll go for the shovel pass instead to the tight end Chapman.
Big time hit. Looks like maybe Shaq Bond coming up on the tight end Chapman. That was a big time blow.
6 of 8 third downs in the half. It's Carney going up top and coming down just short.
No doubt you're going to go for it here. Even if you come up short, you got Utah State pinned in deep. Back to Carney again, I would go.
Carney is not going to get it. Utah State holds on downs inside its own 5 for the second time tonight.
Devin Anderson in helping out, and it's just they're getting leverage in short yardage situations where the Wake Forest offensive line can't push. Nowhere for Carney to run the football in a crowded area.
Jacoby Wildman helped out as well, the grad transfer from Logan for the 4th down stop.
Look at the push that Utah State gets to turn Carney sideways, and once the momentum is stymied, the play is pretty much over. Now here's where we talked about it earlier. You're backed up, experienced quarterback. Take a shot. Take a shot on the outside.
Play clock's down to 3. It's Jalen Warren inside, and again, almost hitting the end zone. He gets out to the 5, though, for some breathing room.
Just makes you nervous trying to hand it off to get penetration. It's a safety. Got Jordan Love. Spin it.
Warren, National Offensive Player of the Year in junior college last year, led JUCO with 159 rushing yards per game at Snow College in Utah.
Well, this is go ahead.
I was going to say broke the Utah State record in high school too, as if that wasn't good enough.
Get back to my thought in a minute.
I'm waiting for it. You can give it to us now.
I'm telling you, this is something for teams playing Utah State. When they back them up like this, expect the run, because this is what they've done. And until they show you something different, teams will pack the box on their schedule coming up and be able to defend them when they're down here.
It's a pass here, and it's intercepted.
Maybe that's why.
By Amari Henderson.
That's why you hear me with the term push the ball down the field to the outside. Something that stops gives a defense a chance to make a break on the ball. And Mariner is kind of fading backwards on his hitch where he can't get his body between Henderson and the football. And Jordan Love there pays a price. Maybe stared it down, gave Henderson an indicator. But you push it to the outside and away from the defense and not sit receivers down.
4th career pick for Henderson. No team has scored consecutive times in the game, and Utah State had the last tally. And here comes Wake Forest. Beal Smith romps into the end zone. There is a flag down at the 2.
That'll be a face mask against Utah State. So this one will stand. There'll be 6 points and a Wake Forest touchdown. Well, what a turn of events.
Personal foul, face mask, number 3, defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff. Touchdown.
Then you get yourself in a situation, Kevin, where the defense knows you're going to throw the football, so they're sitting on it. You run a route that essentially brings Amari Henderson to the party, but Bill Smith made him pay in one play.
First career touchdown for the hometown kid, Christian Beal Smith, the redshirt sophomore. Coaches called him an electric mover. Coaches were right. Back and forth we go. The seesaw tilts in the direction of the old gold and black.
What an answer in terms of complimentary football to your defense making a play and then the offense rewarding the defense. You talk about an uplift. Everybody talks about momentum. That is capitalizing on momentum. The interception with Amari Henderson, reading the quarterback Jordan Love, jumps it. And then it's Christian Beal Smith with a handoff, patience, and the ability to break a tackle, fight through a face mask to give Wake Forest a 31-28 lead. What a football game we had.
Wake Forest scored first. Utah State answered. Wake Forest kicked a field goal. Utah State kicked a touchdown. Back and forth we've gone. Neither team has consecutive scores. Each of the last 6 scores have been lead changes. Kick is from the 50 after the face mask penalty, and this will sail out of the end zone. Utah State starts at the 25. Thursday night, 7 Eastern. Top 13 women's soccer matchup. Georgetown made the Final Four last year. 6th-ranked Virginia has been one of the national powers the last few seasons. They'll tangle right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app at 7 Eastern. Scheduled to have more than 400 live events over the calendar year on ACC Network. This is our second college football game. Last night, the defending champions Clemson took care of business against Georgia Tech.
Yeah, did they? I think Georgia Tech's going to need a little time to transition out of option football to what they want to become.
Jordan Love, first play after the interception, sails it up for the running back Warren, and that's incomplete. Good coverage from Luke Masterson down the field.
A versatile player who's played just about everywhere. They use him on the edge, they use him inside. Good all-around football player, just a junior.
Love. That was not caught. It didn't look like for Mariner. No, it is caught indeed. There was a juggle there.
Mariner catches just about everything thrown his way. And you think Jordan Love's going to flinch after throwing that interception that led to a touchdown? Look at that. Look at the placement of that ball.
That was a 19-yard catch. That was some grab by Mariner. 7 for 94 and a touchdown in his Utah State debut. Now Love goes up top, little 2 up top. And there's a flag thrown. It was Carson Terrell, the coverage from Henderson, who just had the interception.
Yeah, maybe a little hold on the back end.
Maybe the first penalty of the game against Wake Forest.
Pass interference. Offense.
Oh, wow.
Maybe not.
15-yard penalty. Repeat second down.
Almost 3 complete.
Repeat first down.
Yeah, the arms are extended. That's kind of easy. Working against Masterson, the linebacker.
Savon Scarver penalized.
Well, you usually see that when you're throwing bubble screens or something quick, but not routes that are taking place down the field.
.135 plays in the game. No accepted penalties against Wake Forest on week 1. Boy, is that impressive. That is a testament to Dave Clawson and his staff.
No doubt about it. That's discipline within the program from top to bottom and in all 3 phases.
Oh, big hole for Warren right away. Got a block. Jalen Warren can go. And he's across the 35, shouldered down by who else but touchdown saver Nasir Greer at the 30.
And they need to get it. They need to have someone check Nasir Greer out, because he took a blow, got up, and wobbled after this run by Warren. I mean, they need to check him, seriously.
Yeah, that's a discouraging sign, and the good news for Utah, for Wake Forest, they'll have time to check him as the quarter comes to an end. A 43-yard run by Warren. We've had 6 lead changes in a row. Are we on the brink of a 7th? Come on back, find out. Start of the 4th quarter. Welcome back to ACC Network College Football, presented by Dr. Pepper. Kevin Brown, Andre Ware, Dr. Jerry Punch. Utah State on the move with Devin Tompkins making the grab. We have been glutted with offensive football tonight. 136 total plays, 8 touchdowns. The last 6 scores have changed the lead. Neither team, Andre, has scored on consecutive drives. You know what that means? The last team to score was Wake Forest.
Yeah, it's been a magical night offensively, and these coaches, both coaches, will get all over their defenses when this one is over. A little bit too much given up in the total yards department by both defenses.
Jordan Love and Utah State yet to convert.
We're enjoying
a 3rd down and a half.
We're enjoying
this. Is awesome. You never know how much you miss college football until you're back at a game like this, right? Love, 3rd and 6, clean pocket, a strike. It's Caleb Rebb, the grad transfer from Utah.
What a
1st
throw.
and goal coming up.
Boy, what a throw. Threw one at the end of the 3rd quarter along the sidelines, and then that one inside to Rebb.
It's a handoff here. It's a touchdown for Jalen Warren.
And just like that, Utah State doesn't flinch. Jordan Love's work in the pocket, finds his big tight end, Kalen Rebb, the grad transfer from Utah, and they're going to top it off with Jalen Warren getting himself into the end zone. A big run of in his own right. What better way to finish it off than to get yourself into the end zone?
Boy, don't you have a feeling we're going to see a lot of Jalen Warren this year for Utah State?
I thought Bright would be, Gerald Bright would be a big part of the game plan tonight, but it's turned out to be the junior Jalen Warren from Snow College.
Bright's 8 carries for 34 yards. Warren's 12 for $121 right now. His first touchdown at the FBS level. He broke the state record in Utah with 3,099 rushing yards as a senior, and he's got a touchdown here.
I like what he's doing right there, going over and thanking the big grunts, the guys that make it happen up front. You know what? They'll fight for him. They know he's in the huddle. Hey, this guy gets us some recognition. Let's continue to fight for him a little bit. Love that type of stuff.
$15 touchdowns at junior college last year. Snow College, which is a terrific JUCO program in Utah. Josh Heupel, Heisman Trophy winner, UCF coach, out of Snow College, among others. Average touchdown drive for Utah State tonight, 96 seconds. That's a punk song right there. Christian Beal-Smith had the last score for Wake Forest, and he's just shy of the 25. Well, Utah State's been in this spot before. It was 1 year ago, a very similar score. And the Aggies open the season at Michigan State. Darwin Thompson, everyone's favorite fantasy football sleeper this year, plunged in from a yard out. Utah State led with 5:05 to go, but Connor Hayward ran it in for the Spartans. 2-point conversion made it a 7-point lead. Jordan Love was picked off, and Utah State nearly shocked the nation in week 1. And of course, in hindsight, it shouldn't be much of a shock. They ended up going 11-2 and probably had a better season than Michigan State.
What a great season.
First play of the drive, Carney runs over a couple more. Half the Utah State defense needs to be there to take him down.
Well, he just refuses to go down. Doing it on very little rest because of a quick scoring drive of Utah State, and he's right back on the field doing his thing.
Newman right to the marker, and Surratt. That should be good for a first down or close to it.
And I just think Newman can get that whenever he wants it, whether it's Scotty Washington or Stephen Claude or Sage Surratt. Those big receivers on the outside. The corners are now playing a little bit softer. It's much easier to get the quicks on the outside because of the respect being given.
It's actually a little bit short on that play. Wake Forest been terrific on third downs, as you see. 3rd and a yard. Newman. Oh, Utah State was all over this play. They were ready. And Newman is blown up by Nick Henninger, who had a sack earlier in the game and delivers the knockout blow on 3rd down here.
Well, Utah State's expecting it. Look at all the bodies in the box to play the run. There's 7 in the box to play the run. They're playing tight man-to-man on the outside to try to force a quick throw or allow for the pressure inside to get to Newman if they were to pick it up and throw it, and they've got enough bodies to play the run perfectly as they did there.
Punt from Maggio. It's a long one. There's room to return it, but Nathan instead calls for the fair catch. 3 and out forced by Utah State. They've got the ball in the lead. Tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern, tune into the Huddle right here on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Jack Collinsworth, Eric E.J. Markham, comprehensive previews of the weekend slate of games. Keep you updated on everything happening in ACC football. Lead you up to the noon kick between East Carolina and NC State. Time of possession does not tell the story here. Utah State has scored and scored quickly. They've had the ball for 17.5 minutes. They have 35.
Yeah, Wake defensively showing blitz with Masterson, but they're going to back out of it. A little defensive check of their own once Utah State calls the play.
And a handoff, Jalen Warren, who's become the bell cow here, his 13th carry. He's taken down Suleiman Kamara in on the play.
The coach has told us about Warren that he's got a chance to be special. He has been exactly that tonight.
Love with a wide open Caleb Rep. He was a defensive end most of his Utah career, Andre. A grad transfer, had just 2 catches there, and he's made a big impact tonight. That's his 4th.
Yeah, Mike Sanford told us that he's a natural tight end, though, and has just made the transition easily.
Out of the backfield, Warren, and Sternad stops him. Here's Caleb Rep, the matchup nightmare.
God, he just works every inch of the field. Jordan Love, and an accurate pass over the middle of the Reb for a first down. He makes it look easy, and it's just not that easy to play that position. The delivery, everything about it is just kind of poetry in motion. Had a couple of bad reads tonight. First game jitters.
Handoff Warren. Jalen Warren goes down 3rd and long coming up. Well, remember at the start we said 2 returning starters here. Love and the left tackle, Alfred Edwards. It's a very young offensive line. Gary Anderson was confident in them. How do you think they've held up?
I think they've done a fabulous job.
Got to protect here. Rush of 3. Love pressured a little bit from behind there, though, and is passed too high for Terrell as a result.
Yeah, they got Boogie Basham with his ears pinned back in an obvious passing situation. Watch number 9 get pass rush, and enough of it to just where you can't follow through if you're Jordan Love. Can't really step into that one. It's off just by a hair to Carson Terrell.
Tell you what, folks, that wasn't a great time for us to bring up the offensive line, now was it?
No, but overall, I think they've done a fabulous job having to replace 4 starters.
Fair catch called for, made by Hinton at his own 24. Whole lot of football left from Winston-Salem. Wake's turn when we return.
ACC Network Football is presented by Ice Cold Dr. Pepper, the official drink of Fansville.
35-31, Andre. Utah State's in the lead. What a night, though, for Cade Carney of Wake Forest.
Yeah, he has been just about everything, or as good as advertised, running between the tackles, leaping over defenders, breaking tackles, and getting himself into the end zone, but catching passes out of the backfield. He's been the workhorse, but this series, we're going to get a chance to see the other part of that 1-2 punch in Christian Beal Smith.
Incomplete pass from Jamie Newman, thrown behind Brandon Chapman on first down.
And this is where, if you're Coach Anderson, you want your defense second and long, third and long. You got to come up big the first two downs in a possession, and then bring some pressure maybe on Jamie Newman. You know, Carney's on the sideline chopping to get back in the game, wanting back in.
This is Beal Smith's series, and this is Beal Smith's football. And not a whole lot of room for him there. Fua Leilua closed it up inside. Third and long coming up.
This is where Utah State expecting a pass, maybe bringing some pressure. Keep an eye on David Woodward.
3rd and 7, Newman. He'll run it. Needs the 33 for a first down. He's upended, took a hit, but he's got the first down. DJ Williams made the stop. It's a gain of 9.
Well, they rush 4 and just drop into deep zone coverage. And a guy like Jamie Newman forces you to play 11 on 11. You drop that deep and you don't get home with 4, he'll make you pay.
Newman gets rid of it quickly, and again incomplete. Again looking for Chapman, with Shaq Bond closing quickly.
Well, he has had some game, hasn't he? Shaq Bond has been all over the field. This has been a nice number change for him, going from 25 to 4.
Beal Smith on second down. Beal Smith squirts free. He's going to be marked down a yard shy of the first down. Troy Leffridge with the stop. 3rd and 1 coming up.
To replace a couple of offensive linemen themselves, and right in the middle of the formation was Wake Forest.
Beal Smith gets pushed backwards. Jacoby Wildman living up to the name.
A local Logan kid who plays with a great motor, and you see it there. Never giving up, fighting off a block, and just gets enough of Beal Smith around the ankles to bring him down.
Third tackle for a loss, 6th total for Jacoby Wildman, the graduate player.
Not used to this. The punter's on the field. A couple of occasions here.
Only the 5th for Maggio. Nathan will let this one bounce, get out of the way, and Beal Smith is there to down it. Jordan Love back with a football for Utah State, and a 4-point lead for Love, Dr. Punch.
Exactly, and for those who just joined our coverage, we want to remind you that Jordan Love had to overcome a horrible personal tragedy when he was 14 years old. His biggest fan, his best friend, his dad Orban, he lost. And Jordan wanted to walk away, could have imploded. His mom, Anna, said, no, you're not giving up on sports. She said, give me 1 year. Stay with the team, stay with sports, and I think it'll pay off, and certainly that's what's happened for Jordan Love. Remembering his dad, he has worked harder, and what a player he has become for Utah State.
Doc, his father, Orban, was a police officer, 27 years in the Bakersfield Police Department, a JUCO quarterback, running back as well. Jordan derived his strength from his dad and his mom. He talks to Anna every day. She's the first person he talks to when he needs to chat about adversity, just needs to talk about life. She is here. She's made the trip. And I wonder who's more nervous right now, her or Jordan?
It's the mom. Yeah, the nerves go away as a player, but moms are nervous throughout. And we had a chance to chat with him this week on the phone, and tell you what, I was as impressed there as I am watching him sling this football all over the field. He's got tremendous focus. He's being pushed for the Heisman, and that stuff doesn't bother him. His job, he knows the attention won't be there if he doesn't produce on the field. So he is locked in mentally for the 2019 season.
10 yards there for Carson Terrell. Love can take a little bit of the air out of the game with the lead at the midway point of the fourth quarter. Another completion here and a broken tackle. Taylor Compton. That's 31 completions for Jordan Love now, Dr. Punch.
You know, coaches say Jordan Love is unflappable. He never loses his composure. I asked his mom why. She said, well, his dad was a police officer, and I'm a California highway patrolman. We stay pretty cool.
That's a winning combination right there. That's building the perfect quarterback in terms of how to handle pressure. And he's got some pressure coming here with a 3rd and 10. What does Mom think?
Yeah. She looks pretty relaxed. If she can sit there and watch the action.
3rd and 10 movement on the right side of the line. Andy Koch, the right tackle.
Prior to snap, false start, number 77, offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
This is where you don't want to make a mistake. You're being pushed closer towards your 20-yard line. We may see a draw play here just to protect things and punt and play defense. Anderson talked about every drive ending with a kick of some sort.
5 to snap it. Love with a late 4th rusher, and that 4th rusher took him down. It was Ryan Smenda for the 3rd down stop.
Great pressure. And they're able to get home. Kind of surprised that they were throwing it here. Does a nice job of stepping up, but not in enough time to outrun the rush.
Aaron Dalton, who missed last year with injury, his 6th-year punter, is back to kick it. Dalton gets it away. Kendall Hinton with another fair catch, and terrific field position for Wake Forest. 6:18 to go in a 4-point game on opening night. Utah State led 21-17 at the end of 1. 4 scores in the second half. First, it was Jamie Newman keeping it himself for a Wake Forest lead. Then a quick hitter, Devin Tompkins, 56 yards from Jordan Love. Christian Beal-Smith would answer on the ground for Wake, and then the 7th lead change of the game. Jalen Warren's first touchdown with Utah State.
Just kind of proved to us that it doesn't have to be through the air where these two teams are scoring and scoring quickly. The ground game has been in full effect as well.
Kendall Hinton, that's essentially an extended running play. A gain of 2 yards from Jamie Newman. He was named the starter. He won the quarterback battle with Sam Hartman, who played most of last season, the true freshman. Newman down the stretch went 3-1, and he led Wake Forest on 2 game-winning drives in the final minute at North Carolina State as a 3-touchdown underdog on the road. And in the Birmingham Bowl to close out the year, he's got more than 2 minutes to go. He's got a 3rd down and short after the completion to Jack Frudenthal.
Well, and he showed some courage sitting in the pocket there with Christopher Unga barreling down on his chest. Throws a nice accurate pass to the tight end.
And the tackle, the 22nd for David Woodward, the Pro Football Focus linebacker of the year last season, highest grade among college linebackers. He's got 22 because Wake's run a whole lot of plays. And this is another one to Hinton for a 1st down, winning the battle outside.
Hinton runs a nice route. That little, we call him a pick route. A lot of people refer to him as rubs, but it is what it is. But Hinton is able to come free.
Claude, he's stuck by the true freshman Cam Lampkin, who was not on the Utah State 2-deep, got beat by Hinton on the last play, and then delivered his revenge.
Well, you can play, you're going to get on the field, and Lampkin there with a big-time hit. And Newman seems to be heating up a little bit here in the passing game.
Short one into a double team. Woodward is there along with Shaq Bond, maybe the two most active players for Utah State defensively, and the catch by Freudenthal.
And a big third down here. They've moved the ball down in plus territory. You want to finish this thing off.
Need the 29 for a first down, and it's a run play to Kearney, and Wake Forest is going nowhere.
Well, it was a setup to go for it on fourth down. They were trying to get anything with Kearney, any positive yards, and they were going on fourth. Looks like that's still the plan here.
On 4th and 5, Newman's pass is incomplete. He was searching for Sage Surratt, and Utah State takes over on downs again.
Shaq Bond, the safety on the back end, almost got him an interception. And it's one of those where you go back and look at it, you're actually happy that it didn't happen. You got better field position by not catching the interception.
Clausen wanted a flag there on the contact against Surratt. Didn't get it. Utah State has the ball at its own 34.
They take a conservative approach here. And if it's a pass, it's going to be something quick. Well, they may ride the shoulders of Jalen Warren here the last 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
It's Warren. Those are broad shoulders at 5'8", 215. Look at how many Demon Deacons are in there to finally knock him down. A pickup of 7 yards.
Boy, he is shifty. Runs with a low center of gravity, and you see the big lower body, big thick legs. He's hard to bring down. You're never going to get a real shot on Jalen Warren.
You let this play clock run all the way down if you're Utah State?
You're in a 4-minute offense right now, and what that is when you have a lead, you're just trying to bleed the clock. There's no need to go fast anymore. You're slowing the tempo down, trying to drain as much of the clock as you possibly can and get out of here 35-31 if you can.
Snap it at 6, give it to Warren. Left side for a first down. Ryan Smenda with a hit after a gain of 5 yards.
And the only reason why you see him at the line of scrimmage is because this is just what they do. You know, kind of huddle around the line of scrimmage, but there's no hurry in it anymore.
Only win in ACC history for Utah State. The first meeting between these teams back in 2014, 36-24 in Logan.
Yeah, the play clock, we would get to about 5 seconds before I would snap it if I'm Jordan Love.
Snaps it at 6, gives it to Warren. Hang on to the football, young man. That's what the Utah State folks are hoping. And Wake Forest, it appears, is going to use its first timeout.
Yeah, they were.
That's their first timeout of the half.
1 down, 2 to go for Dave Clausen. With a 2nd and 8 coming up. Gary Anderson left Utah State 7 years ago, but he said he kept his house in Logan the whole way. His 3 sons went to Utah State. Gary told us he was happy to get the house back, but he said, let's face it, we had to take the thing down to the foundation, remodel it. Concrete in the roof, that's it. There's some new look. There's some old foundation for Gary Anderson, both with his house and with this Utah State program. He retakes it over from Matt Wells, and he could be 1-0 in his second go-round with 2:41 remaining in a 4-point lead. Jordan Love will hand it off again. Jalen Warren bouncing through the middle of that Wake Forest defense. And he'll be about 4 yards shy of a first down as Wake Forest uses timeout number 2.
Yeah, the thing for Jalen Warren, it's going to be his show from now to the finish line, is to make sure that he's holding on to the football. And Jordan Love makes sure the quarterback, running back exchange, the mesh point, it's all clean. Now the first order of business is to protect the football if you're Utah State.
Well, this is quite an appetizer for our first main Saturday of college football. First one ever right here on ACC Network. It's a historic weekend for us. East Carolina, NC State, noon Eastern tomorrow. Out of the Wolfpack, recover this year. No more Ryan Finley. Virginia Tech at BC at 4 Eastern to follow. And then in prime time, Pitt, which won the Coastal last year, and Virginia. A lot of folks like Virginia to win the Coastal this year. 7:30 Eastern, ACC Network. Prime time presented by Geico. Who you got in the Coastal? Virginia, Miami, Virginia Tech, Pitt.
I like Miami. I think they're going to bounce back and have a fine season. It's a tough start against Florida. They had every opportunity to win that ball game and let it just kind of slip away late.
24-20 last week. A 4-point game there, a 4-point game here. Third down, Love will give it to Warren. He is smothered. And the late push can't help. He gets nothing. Justin Sternad was in there early, the All-ACC linebacker, and Wake Forest will use its final timeout.
Watch the film of
Final timeout of the second half.
Jamie Newman lead Wake Forest from behind against NC State, and he's going to have some time to do it tonight against Utah State. 2:26 left. Obvious punting situation for Gary Anderson and his football team, so there's plenty of time left.
Jordan Love's thrown for 387, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks. You okay taking the ball out of his hands there? Force Wake Forest to use the timeout?
You're trying to bleed the clock, and if you pop a run with Warren, then you force Wake Forest to waste all their timeouts, and you're off to the finish line. You're back on the plane headed back to Logan. But Wake Forest holds up, and it's a totally different story here.
Dalton, clean delivery. Kendall Hinton will fair catch this just across the 10. So Wake Forest has 89 yards to go for the lead.
Yeah, and keep in mind, it's all 89 because 3 points won't do it. They have to get in the end zone with 2:19 left.
Here's what you were referring to, Andre. Jamie Newman took over for a Thursday night start at NC State. Wake Forest nearly a 3-touchdown underdog. He hit Jack Frudenthal late for a win that helped Wake Forest get to a bowl. They ended up at 6-6 and then beat a very good Memphis team late. Newman ran for 3 scores this last one of the final minute. A missed field goal late solidified a 37-34 win and a 7-6 year for the Demon Deacons.
MVP of that bowl game, the Birmingham Bowl against Memphis. You're right, that was a good Memphis football team.
So 1st and 10 for Newman, and a strike to Kendall Hinton on the first play, upended near the 30-yard line. That's the way to start it. 19 yards, Newman to Hinton.
All right, Dr. Jerry Punch talked about Newman's maturity, and you are seeing it play through on the field tonight.
Jamie Love's that deep ball, and he's got it to Surratt. Sage Surratt will score. '71 breathtaking yards.
Hinton with a big catch, and Surratt comes right back with a strike from Newman. And just like that, Wake Forest taking the lead. Kevin, have they left too much time on the clock for Jordan Love and Utah State?
First of all, is this a touchdown? Where is the knee down? I think
it's going to come back. I thought the knee touched right there before. Oh boy, it's
Are we
not
sure
clear.
it touched? That's the freshman Cam Lampkin, by the way. And does the knee?
Looks like he's lunging for the end zone as it appears to touch, but I'm not sure, and I'm not sure there's enough video evidence to overturn the call on the field. But what a throw.
Longest touchdown for Surratt if it stands. Newman is at an even 400 yards for the moment. I don't think the kneecap is down there. I think that's all the leg. Again, the call on the field's touchdown. You have to have evidence to overturn. Well, how about 2 plays, 89 yards to add to your quickly growing litany of Jamie Newman comebacks?
How many total yards combined yards are we at now?
After further review, it was determined that the ball carrier's knee was down when the ball was over the 1-yard line. Be first and goal at the 1-yard line.
Okay.
The clock will start on my signal.
Well, if we subtract a yard there, we're at almost 1,200 yards total. We're at, let me do some quick math, 1,146. That's Andre Grayson, a sophomore, who has beaten coverage. Nice job by the freshman Lampkin to get down here and, for the moment, save the score.
Yeah, they can let the clock just continue to tick.
If you had to do it over again, maybe Lampkin shouldn't have made the tackle.
Yeah,
in
let him get in
retrospect.
the end zone.
Hard to say that in the moment, but this could be a huge
I might
break.
have taken a timeout if I'm Gary Anderson there and forced them to go ahead and run a play.
Carney is the back, and Carney not going to make it. Devon Anderson with a stop.
And he's finally going to take one here. I might have taken it before that the ball was snapped. 1:21 left, because it was clear that Wake Forest was going to let the clock run. You need every second once you get the football back. You're hoping that maybe you have a goal line stand here.
Timeout, Utah State. That's their first timeout of the second half.
And they have come up short on a couple of situations that were short yardage situations early in this game. That's a great play. Just fighting off a block. Devin Anderson.
Utah State has held up twice, to your point, on a couple of 4th downs and 1 to go. So a touchdown is not a guarantee here
given
for Wake.
If they're able to hold here, how big would that tackle have been by the true freshman? Huge. Game saving. But they got a lot between now and then.
Well, Cade Carney's your man in this situation. Half of his touchdowns coming into tonight from exactly 1 yard out. He's in there again. Second down, it's Carney, and he's short again. Shaq Bond in there to blow it up, along with a host of others. Anderson's been a presence inside, and Utah State uses its second timeout.
30-second timeout.
I tell you what, I thought the play was snapped.
1:21 on the clock. 1-2-1.
I thought it was snapped with 1:21, and it's back at 1:21. But nice job by Anderson getting low and push. Again, Shaq Bond finishing things off.
Wake's got to do something different here, right?
Well, I tell you what's happening is you're forcing the timeouts. The time is ticking away, and they're feeling like eventually we're going to pop Carney to get in the end zone. So I think that's the best option right now. You just got to get some push. I wouldn't take it out of Carney's hands.
No. Even with Newman, the way he can run it in?
One of the two. You know, the way they run their zone read, or Newman is certainly a viable option.
Third and goal. Newman sticks it to Carney. Carney is not going to get close. He's been swallowed up 3 straight plays, and it's 4th and game coming up on the other end of this timeout.
Wow.
That's their third and final timeout.
I mean, maybe it's time to show it and pull it. They may have lost yards there. Woodward again, the first Aggie on the spot.
This is the greatest night for a Woodward since the end of Watergate.
He has had some football game, hasn't he?
How many tackles does he have now? 90? 24 tackles
24
for Woodward.
tackles.
He had a career-high 20 at Colorado State last year. He was Pro Football Focus's best linebacker in the country, graded out higher than anybody else. The junior out of Olympia, Washington. Look, we thought this might be another coming-out night for Jordan Love. He's been great, but Woodward defensively has made his presence.
Well, they're going to need one more big stop here.
4th and goal from the 2. Newman to throw it. Hinton high points it, comes down with it, and gives Wake Forest the lead. His 5th year with a touchdown at Wake Forest. None of them bigger than this.
And they go right back, and Andre Grayson, who Surratt beat, to get him down here, and he's cramped up in the end zone, but they go right back at him with Hinton, and he's able to come down. They have found the slot receiver to replace Dortch. What a catch, and what a throw. Well, they get picked off, and Washington actually comes open inside. DJ Williams gets picked off, who had man coverage on Washington. They elect to go to Hinton instead, and he's money.
Boy, we talk all night about the big receivers. You have Surratt 6'3", Washington 6'5", and it's the converted quarterback, the 6-foot Hinton, who makes the biggest play of the game.
Kid that took his name out of the transfer portal, decided to stick it out. I think it's well worth it. There's still a lot of time left in this game.
This is a big extra point. Skeeb has never missed one in his career. And the lead is 3 with 1:08 to go and nary a timeout in sight.
But all you need is a field goal. You don't have to get yourself in the end zone. If I'm Gary Anderson, you're stressing that point to Jordan Love right now. Trying to work the edges. If you catch the ball, get yourself out of bounds. Remember that the clock stops after every first down to get until the chains are set. So get yourselves to the line of scrimmage. You can clock it on first down to buy yourself some time, or at least to stop the clock.
Good kicker warming up there, Dominic Eberle, with 3 51-yarders in a game last year. So you get to the 35-yard line or so. That would be within Eberle's range.
And I don't know that I'm going to kick it deep to Scarver, an All-American kick returner, and a guy that can certainly house it. I don't know that I'm going to kick it back to him. Maybe get this one, make sure it's out of the end zone, and make them go 75 yards or at least a field goal range.
This is a big kickoff for Nick Skiba. That is headed for the end zone. So Utah State will start at its own 25. 1 year ago in week 1, they led Michigan State late, saw the Spartans score with a couple of minutes to go, lost 38-31. Nearly an identical scoreline here at a Power 5 team. The good news, they score as fast as anybody. 29 scoring drives under a minute last year, most in the FBS, and they'll need one within the next 68 seconds.
Plenty of time.
Jordan Love's Travel and Salvation Show has 1 shot left.
Yeah, elect to play zone here.
A rush of 3. Love hit as he delivers and nearly intercepted. Kobe Davis came tumbling over the top and almost ended the game.
He almost had Scarver. If he's able to step into that throw.
Who's your go-to target here if you're Love?
I think Jordan Nathan. Something on a crossing route.
Love pressured, gets away, heaves it down the field into double coverage. Davis is back there again. Scarver wants a flag. He will not get it. 3rd and 10 coming up. Still no flags thrown against Wake Forest. No penalties in the game against the Demon Deacons in 178 plays.
Well, you need something that's going to get you about half of it here. And that way you can pick it up on 4th down. But you don't need the 1st down, which Jordan Love needs to understand.
He needs 10.
All of it at once.
Complete. It's Mariner down to midfield, and that will extend the game with 46 seconds to go. It stops the clock. Gain of 25.
Maybe he's got one called in the huddle. He's trying to signal it.
From his own 49, Love with a short one. Got to get out of bounds here.
He does.
Caleb Rep. Yes, he does. Stops the clock with 37 seconds.
Now you can settle things down, get a play call from the sideline with the clock stopped, and not have to rush things. Everybody can get a break, take a nice deep breath, and you go back to work.
Again, you're about 11 yards away from getting in Eberle's range.
The middle of the field is wide open.
Love off his back foot into the middle of the field and incomplete.
I mean, I'd go back to the same set. They go trips into the short side of the field, and the middle of the field is so inviting. Caleb Rep was to that side, but it is wide open. And as you mentioned, you only need about 11 yards. That's enough for a run and a catch. A catch and a run, and get down with a 1st down.
Tight end Rep in motion.
And you're going to drag Nathan across the middle here.
Nathan's in the slot left. He's closest to the line. Love for Rep, trying for a one-handed catch, incomplete. And he got laid out late. Oh, and here comes a flag against Greer. It's going to be the first Wake Forest penalty of the game with 23 seconds to go.
A huge one, because it's going to give them an automatic 1st down.
Personal foul, targeting, number 9, defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
This must be reviewed.
This play is under further review.
This must be reviewed. There's a new rule in college football this year. You have to confirm the targeting upon review. The call cannot stand. It must be fully confirmed. Let's get the look.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. There's no doubt. Because one, he's loading up to launch. And then as he's loading up, he's making contact between the shoulder and neck area. There's no doubt that that's targeting.
There are 2 types of targeting. One is forcible contact with the crown of the helmet. One is forcible contact to the head or neck area of a defenseless player. Ruling must be confirmed.
Review, ruling on the field stands or is confirmed. Targeting number 3 is disqualified for the remainder of the game.
And Gary Patterson got the language right eventually. It is confirmed. Dangerous hit, launching upward thrust, a severe strike. There certainly was an indicator there.
Well, that one hurts now, and it's going to hurt next week.
He'll miss the first half of the next game.
Against Rice.
Man, oh man, after no penalties all game, the last spot you can have it, and Utah State's within field goal range. Still no timeouts. From the 31, Love. Can't take a sack here. Can't take that either. Intercepted. Justin Sternad with a game winner for Wake Forest.
What a play, and he has made a couple in this game, but none bigger than the one he just made there to save this ball game with 17 seconds left for Wake Forest.
I correctly confirm.
Unbelievable play by Sternad. As Love's trying to bite off a little bit more. rather than just get the ball out or take the underneath throw, he's trying to squeeze one down the field. And now it's victory formation for Wake Forest. And they get out of here with a 38-35 victory.
Justin Sternad's 4th career interception. There are more than 20 players on this Wake Forest 2 deep in their 4th or 5th year. He is one of them, a redshirt senior. This is what Dave Clawson has built at Wake Forest. Players in their 3rd and their 4th and their 5th years. They have the experience, and they have delivered in big game after big game over the last 4 seasons. Newman and Sternad, along with the 5th-year senior Hinton, the heroes tonight, and Wake Forest is 1-0.
Starting to see the fruits of his labor. We mentioned it earlier, redshirting. About 65% of his players are redshirts. And when you get into year 6, now you have some experience mixed with youth. You can start to play some younger players because you have depth and some talent that you're bringing in, an influx of talent that you really can't keep off the field. And guys like Sternad they're making plays for you and contributing in a very big way.
And for the 2nd straight year, Utah State and Jordan Love come oh so close in a Power 5 road game. Give up 38, a go-ahead touchdown late, and an interception seals the Aggies' fate. Let's go downstairs to Dr. Jerry Punch.
Well, just running over here a moment ago, you can take a deep breath now, Coach. What a football game. I mean, 2 heavyweight offenses. In the end, what was the difference for the Demon Deacons?
I mean, it was 2 yards, and I mean, in some ways, I don't feel like we deserved to win this game. I don't feel like we played well, but our kids had a lot of stick-to-itiveness and made some plays at the end, and just a really gutty performance by a lot of kids.
Less than a minute and a half to play. You're on the 2-yard line to try to win the game. You run the ball 3 times with Carney. What were you thinking?
Thinking if you can't get a yard running it, you don't deserve to win. And then we lost yardage. So obviously our short yardage offense, we need to work on that. But Kendall Hinton made a great play in the back of the end zone, and really a miracle win for us.
You talked about picking Jamie Newman because of what he could do at the end of a ball game. He won twice last year. NC State late, came from 18 behind in the bowl game. His maturity in that last drive, how would you comment on that?
He doesn't get phased in those situations. So he's done it with us in the Birmingham Bowl, NC State, and now today against a very good team.
Hey, congratulations, Coach. Let's bring in one of the guys here who made a pretty good play. Hey, Kendall Hinton, now take us back to that play, 4th and goal on the 2-yard line, and there are 2 receivers in the same position. What was going on there?
Right. Yeah, first 3 downs, we tried to stuff it in on the ground. Had a hard time, so we put it in the air. It was a great call. Quarterback put in a great place and just made a play on the ball.
Considering where you were a year ago, where you weren't even with the team here, you were back in an apartment watching the games because of a punishment. What does this night and this finish mean to you?
It's just so amazing to be back with the guys, last year, you had tribulations and, you got through it, and it makes this so much sweeter. Being able to celebrate a great win with the guys, just super excited to be back.
You stayed, you came out of the transfer portal, you graduated, you got that diploma, and now you got a pretty sweet win to start the season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go celebrate.
Absolutely.
Let's go to Kevin.
Doc, it's simple statistics. 50% of all football games ever on the ACC network have come down to the final minute. What a game this was. What a start for Wake Forest. As Dave Clawson said, he didn't think they played all that well for part of this game. He didn't know if they deserved to win, but they did.
Yeah, and it's just a great story. When you look at it, and a guy like Kendall Hinton sticking it out, and the easy thing to do is to go in the transfer portal and take a different route, go to another program. But this is where you started your career, and to get off to your senior season and be a contributor within the offense, make a game-winning touchdown catch. That's what you like to see. That's why you stick it out and you hang around, and it's a good thing to see. It's refreshing to see it.
Love that he's a graduate too. Dave Clawson said, here's how he recruits, the word end. You got to love football, and you got to love a high-level degree. We had a whole lot of ends tonight. and Jason Phillips along for the ride with Andre Ware, with Dr. Jerry Punch. I'm Kevin Brown. What a night here on ACC Network. Wake Forest wins at 38-35 over Utah State. Thanks for being with us on a memorable Week 1 night from Winston-Salem. Coming up next, Georgia Tech and Clemson.